We're not a company.
We're your country.
We're the Army.
The Navy.
The Air Force.
The Marines.
We're the Armed Forces.
It's a great place to start.
It's a bat, it's a ball, it's a mid, it's a call. It's a sacrifice, but not a line. It's a catch at first base, it's the sun in your face. It's a flamethrower shaking a sign. It's a time with your friends, hoping it never ends. Cause it's still time after 9. Get up and go for all the action. Get up and go for all the fun. It's Major League Satisfaction. Get up and go.
Next season at a ballpark near you.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
Yesterday, the Mets slid around the base paths and the Dodgers were called out. Now New York has the series lead, but LA looks to get even in Game 4 tonight on ABC Sports.
Panoramic view. Oakland Coliseum sold out. Game 4, the American League Championship Series between the Red Sox and the A's. One of the outstanding swimmers in the history of the United States who won 4 gold medals, a silver and a bronze. A former University of California standout, Matt Biondi, started it out with the ceremonial opening pitch. 6'6" and a swimmer. All right, let's now look at the starting lineups. Let's begin with the Red Sox. Ellis Burks, who leads off for the second game in a row. Marty Barrett will be at second base. Wade Boggs at the third position. Greenwell in left field. Rice is the DH. Dwight Evans will be in right field. Rich Gedman catching. Jody Reed, the shortstop. And for the first time, Larry Parrish starting at first base.
And the Oakland defense will have Jose Canseco in right field. Dave Henderson is in center field. And for the 4th day in a row, a different left fielder. Dave Parker's in left today. Mark McGuire is at first base. Gallego is at second base. Walter Weiss will be the shortstop. Carney Lansford is at third base. Terry Steinbach will do the catching. And Dave Stewart is on the mound.
Stewart in game 1 went 6 1/3 innings. Gave up 1 run, 5 hits, struck out 6 and walked 3. With the inside pitch, Milwaukee Brewers, Paul Molitor.
Dave Stewart here in Oakland might be a little bit more of an aggressive pitcher. The ball doesn't seem to carry as well as Fenway Park, so he might be able to get away with a few more high fastballs. He still has that 94 to 95 mile an hour fastball to complement that tremendous forkball. So if he can keep those Boston hitters off balance, it's going to be a good ball game for Dave Stewart.
Stewart, back-to-back 21 seasons, the first since Catfish Hunter. The umpires for this game, Grade Kost will be behind the plate. Ken Kaiser will be at first base. John Shulak at second. Don Dinkinger at third. The left field umpire will be Ted Hendry, and Tim McClellan will now be in right field. Just an outstanding day for baseball as Joe Morgan hoping to continue this series. If you look at the weather, 73 degrees, and it's one of those days that they brag about here in the Bay Area. Well, Joe, this Red Sox ball club has really got their work cut out for them now.
Well, I think they need a start like they had yesterday, where they score some runs right away. They do not have to score 5 runs, but I think they need to get on the board first today in order to have a chance against Oakland.
Ellis Burks leads things off, fouled it back. He started out so well for this ball club. He led off with a base hit, came back with a hit his second time up. In fact, for the night, he went 2 for 4, scored 2 runs, and batted in 1. Burks was the change that Joe Morgan made, moving Boggs to the third position in the batting order and then going with Burks as the leadoff man. Burks swings through it, and the count is 0-2.
He's been hitting the ball hard all series. Even the last time he made an out last night, that was when Walter Weiss went behind second base and made the great play on him.
A lot of people say that Dave Stewart is just as effective with 3 days rest as he is with a normal 4 days. They are very confident he will pitch well today for the A's. Misses, so the count goes to 1-2.
Pitchers of the past will tell you that 3 days is what they really like. They do not like that extra day of rest, but it's something that is coming to play in the last few years where they go on a 5-man rotation.
1-2 to Burks, and knocked down by Lansford, and dug out by McGuire. You almost come to expect outstanding defensive plays by the Oakland A's.
There you see Carney Lansford, and he makes one step and a dive. Nice play. The ball was hit sharply, so he has time to get up and throw Ellis Burks out. And there you see McGuire making the stretch. This ball is hit very sharply. You see the reaction time by Carney Lansford. One step and a dive. That's all he had time for.
We had some outstanding plays by McGuire. We had him with Gallego and Weiss, and now we start this game out with Lansford here at the top of the first. Marty Barrett 1 for 4, his first base hit of the series yesterday. In great contrast to '86 when he was the American League Championship Series most valuable player. Strike call. 1-1.
I think that play that Lansford made is the kind of thing that the Red Sox want to stay away from, because that continues you thinking in the dugout, uh-oh, it's not our day, it's not our week. They've got to change that by getting some base hits and driving the ball past them.
1-1 on Barrett. That'll be fouled back. And it's so interesting, too, Reggie, to tag on to your thought. These guys, the Red Sox, jump to a 5-0 lead. What does that do to you when you jump out on top and then they come roaring back and beat you 10-6?
Well, you think that snowball is just going to run you right over, and you start to think guys like Rice and Evans and Stanley say, hey, it happened to us in '75, '78. It's happening again.
Weiss has to play that one off his chest, and there's 2 out.
You start playing with the mind, Gary. You know it can be a very, very difficult thing to come back from.
That'll bring up Wade Boggs. Boggs had a good game yesterday. Went 3 for 4, had 2 RBIs. So moving down third in the order certainly seemed to help this American League batting champion. High and outside for ball 1. Oakland trying to complete the sweep and head on to the World Series. The Red Sox would like to extend it, get Clemens to pitch tomorrow, and somehow get back to Fenway Park.
It's interesting to note that Dave Stewart seems to be throwing a little harder than he did in Game 1. But when you come to a guy like Boggs, all of a sudden you try to spot the ball, and he didn't have as much on the first 2 pitches. Now he comes back 2-0 and he turns it loose again. I think he has a little better fastball today than he did opening day.
That last one was a 93-mile-per-hour fastball to kind of back up what you're saying. Count now 3-1. Stewart grew up in the Oakland area. In fact, he grew up 7 blocks here from the Coliseum. So he has come home, and what a performance he has put on this season. 3-2. 2 down, top of the first, Game 4. You can find a better weather day than this. I want to know where it is. Foul back, and the count stays full. The A's, who seemingly always find a way to win, as Mike Greenwell, who had a 2 for 5 night yesterday, stands on deck. 3-2 to Boggs, and he walked him. So with 2 down, Boggs is at first base, and Greenwell coming up.
Oh, it's interesting to me, Joe, the last few years that coaches and teams have started having their pitchers go to 5 days every 5th day rather than every 4th day. When I came up, it was very common to see a pitcher go 300 innings, 350 innings. Guys like Mickey Lolich, Catfish Hunter, they did it all the time. Tom Seaver. Now when a guy goes 275, 80 innings, he can lead the league.
He starts Greenwell out with a strike.
You know, back in those days, they never heard of the rotator cuff injury. They never heard of tendonitis or any kind of thing. They put a little hot stuff on the arm, little analgesic bomb, and said, hey, go get him, partner.
1 strike now on Greenwell. Left field, that could be trouble. Parker hustling over, can't get to it. Rounding second, on his way to third goes Boggs. Having trouble is Parker, but he gets it back in, and we have runners now at second and third. So Dave Parker playing left field for the first time in this championship series, and every move that he has made, Tony La Russa in left field has worked. You might recall Polona, and also last night Javier did.
We're going to get a chance here to see Boggs. When he goes to third base, watch him slow up. He's not running to go home there. See right there, he slows up. Now Parker makes the mistake out there, and he can't turn it on again. If he was running full speed, Reggie, they may have had a chance to send him home on that play.
I think he may have been able to score, Joe. You're right.
Right. Can't slow down when you're running the bases.
Jim Rice comes up, the DH, and takes it inside for a ball.
Jimmy Rice was talking before the ball game. He said in the interview that he feels when there's runners on base, what he's going to have to do today is drive them in. And if there's no one on base, he's going to have to hit a home run.
Now that will be ruled a base hit and an error on the left fielder, Dave Parker. Inside now, and it's 2-0.
Been a couple of times when Dave Parker has played left field behind Dave Stewart, and he has had problems with a couple of balls, and it has cost Dave Stewart a couple of runs and the ball game eventually.
2 out, 2 on. Inside, and all of a sudden now he's behind Rice 3-0. Dwight Evans due up next.
He's got a base open here, so Dave Stewart can go around Jimmy Rice. He may have a better record against Dwight Evans than he does Jim Rice. He'll say, hey, I'm going to go around Jimmy. I got a base open. I can play with him a little bit.
3-0 to Rice, and he gets it over. Rice taking, and the count goes to 3-1.
I think he started out with every intention of getting Jim Rice out, Reggie, but when he got behind in the count, like you said, he realized there's a base open, so I have to still make a good pitch.
3-1 to Rice, fouls it back, so after going 3-0, he's run the count full.
The situation, a lot of people would say, hey, why wasn't he swinging 3-0? He knows he's going to lay it right in there. They also know that Jim Rice had trouble picking up this kind of a fastball, 95, 93 miles an hour plus. And hey, he has been wild. He's already thrown 3 balls. Let's take one.
3-2, 2 out, 2 on. He walked him. And so Rice is the second man to be walked to the inning. The bases are loaded, and that'll bring up Dwight Evans.
Reggie, you bring up a good point there at the fact that Jim Rice hasn't been able to handle a real good fastball lately. Well, then why do you hit him 5th and hit Dwight Evans 6th?
Because Jimmy Rice has been swinging the bat better in the month of September. He's had more success. He hit 5 home runs in the month of September. So I'm sure that Joe Morgan has him hitting ahead of Dwight because he's got a hot bat.
Evans 1 for 2 last night with a chance to really do some damage here in the top of half of the first inning. All 1, so Stewart, who in previous games with the Red Sox said his biggest problem was control. He walked too many batters.
It always had trouble early in a ball game, and settling down has been his thing that he tries to overcome, is trouble, usually in the first few innings.
Foul back, and it evens at 1-1.
And again, here is a team that led the American League in base on balls. They've got a good eye.
That's what he did in the first game, 6 1/3, and walked 3 batters. He had walked 24 batters in 26 innings in the regular season against the Red Sox. 1 ball, 1 strike to Evans. 2-1. Boggs at third, Greenwell at second, Rice at first. 2 down, top of the first. Two and 2.
Remember, there is equal pressure here. Yes, Dave Stewart has to throw strikes. If we take a look at Dwight Evans' swing, that ball was thrown right by him. There's equal pressure for both sides. The Red Sox have to score, and Stewart has to get him out.
2-2 to Evans, and he struck him out with the bases loaded. Dave Stewart gets out of a major jam. No score in the top of the inning. The A's coming to bat.
Isn't this romantic?
It's just like checkers. It's triple jump. It's boom, boom, boom.
You make the right choices, you get to the prize.
It's you.
Check this car out. This is a car that climbs volcanoes.
I got a winner here. I don't believe it. Yes!
Blazing a trail through Logan Pass, Montana, and the great taste of old Milwaukee beer.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place, and old Milwaukee beer.
It just doesn't get any better than this.
Dave Stewart got out of it. Bases loaded, able to strike out Dwight Evans. Let's look now at the batting order for the A's. Lansford to lead off at third base. Dave Henderson batting second in center field. Canseco, who was the only guy who didn't have a hit for the A's yesterday, batting third. McGuire at first base. Dave Parker in left field for the first time in the series. Terry Steinbach, who hadn't played since the first game, is catching. Don Baylor, the DH. Mike Gallego at second base, and Walter Weiss, the shortstop, batting in the ninth position. Hurst in game one went 9 innings, giving up 6 hits, struck out 7. The left-hander here with the inside pitch, Paul Molitor.
Bruce Hurst is just an outstanding pitcher, and it really doesn't matter if he's pitching in Fenway or here in Oakland. He's going to go basically with the same ball game. He's a very smart pitcher on the mound. He seems to learn from every time he takes the hill. He has 3 outstanding pitches: a good fastball, a tremendous screwball, and a curveball to keep the hitters off balance.
So Bruce Hurst, who had a career-high 18 wins this year, will face Carney Lansford. Henderson and Canseco in the bottom of the first inning, no score.
Here's a defense for Boston. On the infield, Larry Parrish takes over for Benzinger at first. Barrett, Reed, and Boggs on the infield. Greenwell, Burks, and Evans in the outfield.
Lansford popped it up. Boggs puts the glasses down, as does Reed, and Reed's going to make the catch. Leadoff man erased here in the bottom of the first, and that'll bring up Dave Henderson, who is 2 for 5 last night. He has 5 hits in this American League Championship Series. Boy, you talk about a missed opportunity when you're struggling like the Red Sox are and you leave the bases jammed.
Well, I think it's interesting because, as I said, I believe they need to score first, because if Oakland scores first, the pressure just mounts on Boston. When you're in a do-or-die situation, could be the final game and you can be eliminated, there's a lot of pressure at the beginning of the ball game, and it just grows as the ball game progresses.
First ball hitting, Reed, and there's 2 away. Well, also, you got to figure that Stewart feels he certainly dodged a bullet, and now will get stronger as the game wears on. Sometimes you really pitch well after coming out of a jam, and there's the guy that struck out with the bases jammed.
He has missed a few opportunities, Gary.
The whole Red Sox team has, for that matter.
They're running into Dave Stewart. Dave Stewart has been on a mission ever since I joined that ball club last year in '87. He wants to prove to people that he is a great pitcher, and wants to prove to people that he has a certain determination, has what it takes to be considered a great pitcher.
Bruce Hurst now has 1 ball, no strikes on Canseco. Canseco, as we mentioned, the only guy in the A's lineup that didn't get a hit last night.
Well, I tell you, Gary, I watched him take batting practice today, and did he hit one today?
He hit one clear up on the grass behind left field. We both just, I think our mouths dropped open at the same time when we watched that one get launched. Big swing, and the count goes to 2-1.
He's only got 5 hits off Bruce Hurst this year, but 4 of them have been baboombas, home runs.
Well, his only 2 hits in this series have been home runs.
Nothing wrong with that. Although when you swing for those home runs and you have the ability to hit them up in the grass and put on those shows, usually those guys, Joe, they carry around 125 to 150 strikeouts a year with them.
2-1 to Jose, and a breaking pitch finds the mark, and it's 2-2. One thing they talked about in Fenway Park is how Hurst would come overhand, Joe, and it was hard to pick up the ball. Is it the same thing here in the Coliseum?
No, there's not any problem with the background. There's a dark green background there, and it's also a shadow that covers the lighted part.
Canseco, right center field. Ball is well hit. Way back, way back. It's out of here.
That is something that you did not want the Oakland A's to do if you were a Red Sox. You take a look at this swing. Jose stays right on the ball, drives right through it. You see him watch it all the way, even after he hits it, right through that ball, driving it to right center field. He missed out on the fun last night, but he picked up on tonight. Just that, as you say about the Oakland A's, they just do everything right.
McGuire up, swings through the first one. So all 3 now of the hits that Canseco has in the series have been home runs. He hit his first home run off of Hurst, you might recall, in game 1 in the 4th inning. Right field, and that is going to make it back into the stands. Well, again, the Red Sox got to say to themselves, we missed an opportunity, and now here we are, already down 1-0.
In most cases, that's the where it happens, Gary. If you miss an opportunity, the other team usually takes advantage of the one that they have.
McGuire with a home run last night, 3 for 4, and there's the guy, the first 40-40 man in baseball history. How about 50-50 for him?
No, I don't believe so, but he's capable. I just don't believe he'll be able to steal 50 bases. That's a lot of stolen bases. I'm never going to say he can't hit 50 home runs, because I think he can hit 40 to 50 home runs each and every year. But stealing 50 bases is a lot of bases to steal year in and year out.
2-2 to McGuire. He reaches out, and he'll still be alive at 2-2.
I think something like that, a guy has to take a lot of chances, and I think that Tony La Russa may say to the big guy, hey, Jose, that like they did with myself and guys like Mays and Aaron, hey, I don't want you running to take the chance to get hurt, especially if he hits 45, 50 home runs. Tony going to say, hey, I want that shillelagh in the lineup, baby.
McGuire swings through that one, strikes out, but the A's with a home run by Canseco jump to a 1-0 lead after 1 inning of play.
A videotape that guarantees original brilliance and sharpness even after 500 plays? This is the tape that does it, BASF. Because every time you play it, or play it again, or record over it, play after play after play, the original brilliance and sharpness always comes through. So if you're looking for the videotape that just keeps coming back for more, ask for BASF. Because even after 500 plays, the original brilliance always comes through.
Black Rock, Nevada and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Black Rock means land sailing, riding the wind across dry desert lakes. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer, cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer, and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place and Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
You know, guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
Over the past 8 years, 15,000 car renters were asked who's the best for clean, dependable cars. In every survey, Hertz came out on top.
Modesty forbids me from taking all the credit.
They were asked who's the best in providing high-quality service. Hertz again.
It was nothing.
And who's the best company overall? You guessed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
About the only thing they weren't asked is who's the best spokesperson.
You're kidding.
At least you have your health.
Robot jockeys,
super stunts,
chainsaw sculpture,
super speed kites,
3-year-old genius,
skateboarding dog,
portrait,
monkey versus
horse
man,
versus bicycle.
the real Crocodile Dundee.
You may have heard about them,
even read about them,
but you have never seen them
until now.
Incredible Sunday
premieres tonight.
Peter Jennings on World News Tonight, called the most professional news anchor. Nightline's Ted Koppel, widely regarded as the best interviewer on television. ABC News, America's choice.
Joe Morgan and the Red Sox trailing 1-0 as we go to the top of the second inning, as Gedman will lead things off, followed by Jody Reed and Larry Parrish. If Joe Morgan knows this stat I'm going to give you, he must be even more discouraged trailing in this game as Gedman swings through it. In the regular season of play, when the A's scored first, their record was 67-18. When they didn't, it was 37-40. And the A's have scored first.
Things don't look good for the Tea Party.
1-1 to Gedman. 1-2.
Good fork ball.
Rich Gedman has been swinging the bat exceptionally well, 5 for 10. Walt Horiniak said to me yesterday he may be swinging the bat better than anyone else on the Red Sox ball club at this time.
1-2 to Gedman, and left field hooking over towards the foul line. A long run for Parker, can't get there, foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Gedman. Gedman, of course, had the home run in Fenway Park. I'll tell you, Dave has had a couple of long runs over there in that left field corner. After the inning was over, Bruce Hurst, this is on tape, went into the dugout, put on his jacket, and headed for the clubhouse.
Looks like he's a little disgusted there with himself for giving up the home run to Canseco, and sometimes you can't sit when you're upset. You just need to walk it off to calm yourself, and maybe that's what Bruce Hurst was doing there.
And maybe go in and throw something out of sight of everyone?
Or to go in and sit down and have a cup of coffee.
I doubt that. Anyway, 1-2 now on Gedman, and right back to Stewart. Leadoff man erased here in the top of the second inning. Jody Reed will come up. Reed was 1 for 3. What a setting here. They shattered all the attendance marks
Batting, number 3,
at the Oakland Coliseum.
Jody Reed.
Largest crowds ever to come to a game here in the Bay Area.
You know, Joe Morgan made another lineup switch. He put Larry Parrish in at first base this afternoon in place of Todd Benzinger. I agree with that move. I don't agree with hitting Larry Parrish 9th and hitting Jody Reed 8th, because Jody Reed can run better than Parrish, so I think he should be 9th and lead to the top of your order. If you get a Larry Parrish on base in front of Ellis Burks, you're going to clog up the bases.
Joe, you know, there's a lot of pressure on managers, not just on the players out here.
Well, you know, you haven't been, Joe Morgan hasn't been in a playoff situation before as a manager. Tony La Russa has. I think that gives the advantage to the Oakland A's a little bit.
Foul back, 1-2.
Not so sure, Joe. I think that a manager manages to win every game every day, and his job should not change during the playoffs. Now, you may flip your pitchers around or go with a pitcher a little bit longer during the playoffs, but other than that, they're going to manage to win every game to the best of their ability.
Reed, left center field. Henderson's going to have to hurry, but he's going to get there. 2 out. That'll bring up the man that you were talking about, Larry Parrish. Parrish has been in a pinch hitting role on 3 occasions, going 0 for 3 and striking out twice.
This is why they got Dave Henderson to cover the ground and patrol center field. Secretary of Defense.
Boy, what a play he made in Fenway Park off of Ellis Burke's drive. High to Larry Parrish.
And I'm sure Parrish is happy to be starting today for 2 reasons. This is the first time he's had a chance to face someone other than Dennis Eckersley.
Another thing, too, he's got a big swing. He's a free swinger, and today he has a chance to get 4 at-bats to do something.
1 ball, 1 strike now to Parrish. He fouls that back. Parrish really had some big hits for this ball club. He had 13 game-tying or go-ahead RBIs for the Red Sox.
There's one of the reasons he's in the lineup today. They use these stats the last 8 or 10 years, Joe, like they're the Bible.
Well, he had those stats opening game, too, and he didn't play.
That's right. That's right.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying
so much for the stats.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the second.
It's good. Another good excuse when you're in an argument, though, when the manager is in the argument, says you're playing or you're not playing. Here's good reason. And
right.
If you've done well against someone, they say, hey, this is my hunch.
2-2 to Parrish. Now it's full at 3-2.
There's no doubt that the stats that you have against an individual pitcher, or if you're a pitcher against a batter, that they take those things into consideration.
Full count now to Larry Parrish and to right field. Canseco coming in. McGuire going back. Gallego, and it's going to be Gallego. And it's a 3-up and 3-down inning here in the top half of the second inning. The A's trying to sweep, leading 1-0.
What gives you lots of hot water the lowest cost way?
Nothing does it like gas.
What lets you wash for less money to save every day?
Nothing does it like gas.
What heats water so efficiently it's half the cost of electricity?
Nothing does it, no, nothing does it like gas.
And if you're beyond gas service, use propane.
For hot water, for cooking, home heating, or drying.
Choose gas, America's best energy value.
All airplanes are created equal, built by the same people. But after they're built, something happens. People don't think of all airlines in the same way. Just look at all the business flyers that have flown with us over the years. Maybe it's that we fly to more business centers. Or maybe it's how we fly to more business centers. United, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
Guy came by today trying to sell me some imitation body parts. Copycat hoods, doors, and fenders for GM cars. But I wasn't buying. You see, I know some of those imitations don't come up to GM specs for fit, finish, and corrosion protection. How do you protect yourself? Ask to see a repair order before insurance work begins. And insist on genuine General Motors parts. Remember, it's your car, and it's your choice.
Okay, Alex will now do his famous dog impersonations. Grab a stroll light, relax. Ready, Alex? All right, who's this?
Rin Tin Tin.
That great.
Look at this. Look at this. Tramp, my 3 sons.
Right. This is my favorite.
Benji. Oh, I don't know how he does it. It's amazing.
Stroh-Lite, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste.
No, here he comes. Here he comes. Who's that supposed to be?
Beats me.
San Francisco Bay, the panoramic view as we go now to the bottom of the second inning. Dave Parker to lead things off. Terry Steinbach and Don Baylor against Bruce Hurst. Parker playing left field. He'd been in a DH capacity early in the ball game, and there's a lot of thinking that goes behind that. They wanted Baylor in as a DH, but had to play Parker in the outfield.
Well, I think it hurts you a little defensively in left field because Javier, as we mentioned yesterday, may be their best defensive outfielder, and also Tony Phillips has done a good job in the outfield. So they had other choices if they wanted to go with defense, but they wanted Baylor's bat in the lineup, and the only way to do that was to put Parker in left and let Baylor be the DH.
He wanted Dave Parker's bat in the lineup. Tony La Russa told me last night.
1-2 on Parker, and it's even now 2-2.
He said he had a feeling. He didn't say he had a feeling. He said he knew Dave Parker was going to have a good day today.
I tell you, Tony hasn't been wrong very often. Well, that's not what he had in mind. Yeah, next time, right? That's the second strikeout of the ball game now for Hurst. Tonight on ABC, baseball excitement continues. The Dodgers and the Mets. Game 4, beginning live at 8 o'clock Eastern. Probably heard earlier in this telecast, Jay Howell has been suspended for 3 games. Would return for the 7th game, if there is one. You guys have any feelings about that one way or the other? Steinbach up at the plate, ball 1.
In reading the prepared statement, I didn't quite understand one part of it. It said, if the LCS goes 7 games, by accident of one man's mistake, they did not want to penalize the whole team. That's what a team is. Each individual is part of a team, and if you do something wrong, it penalizes the whole team.
1-1 now on Steinbach. Steinbach playing for the first time since the opening game. He was 1 for 2 in that, and the count evens, makes it 2-1 rather on Steinbach.
You know, it's very difficult to go against the authority. Bart Giamatti has a reputation of being severe with his penalties, a la Pete Rose. Jay Howe was wrong. What can you say? It's sad. We all agree with that. With all the arguments, everyone has a good side, a good case. He's right, he's wrong. We all have to agree that it is a sad case. Sad something. It's sad it had happened.
3-1 now on Steinbach. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Oakland. And Steinbach's aboard. 1 down and 1 on, and here comes that other half of that veteran duo we're talking about, and Dave Parker. Renee Lashman, last-minute instructions to Steinbach. Steinbach with that flap on his hat comes as the end result of a thrown ball that hit him in the eye, and he was sidelined for some time. Baylor 0 for 3 in this series. Strike 1. Well, you talk about guys who have been in pressure situations. Between Parker and Baylor, you'd have to look a long ways, wouldn't you, to find a combination of experience more than that?
Well, I think Don Baylor's leadership is one of the reasons they acquired him, along with hopefully that he would do a good job with the bat. You know, one of the things I've looked at is the definition of a leader. See, a leader is not the guy that always gets the base hit in the ninth inning to drive in the winning run. He's not always the pitcher that strikes out the guy with the bases loaded to save a ball game. A leader is the guy that everyone else on the team knows that he thinks of the team first and himself second. That's the role of a leader.
Well, this guy has been on the right side the last 2 years on the American League Championship Series winners.
It's also a player that players can look around the clubhouse and say, I know he's okay. I know he's going to be fine today.
Hurst, who has an outstanding move to first. 1-2 now on Baylor.
There are a lot of guys that sit on the bench and say, let's go when the team's behind. A leader is a guy that says, let's go as he's stepping into the batter's box.
Called third strike. So he has 2 strikeouts in the inning, his third of the ball game, and that'll bring up Gallego. We talk about experience, about Baylor, and we also talked about Parker. Look at this. The 2 guys in the booth have had a few moments.
Second base.
Jackson with 45 league championship games. Baylor, Al McRae, Rose. There's Mr. Morgan, George Brett, and Bob Boone. I bet you guys can remember every one of them.
I can remember a lot of them.
Gallego 1 for 4 last night. Goes through that one for strike 1.
You told me when you get older you'd start forgetting things.
We've noticed that.
I'm on my way.
We've noticed that.
It's a lot of games, though, Red. It's truthful.
Still down at first base. Steinbach. 2 down. Bottom of the second inning. The Red Sox trailing 3 games to none. It would end today if the A's can pull this one out and be the first sweep ever in a 7-game championship series. Hurst is convinced Steinbach's going somewhere. He has stolen only 3 bases this year. Was not caught, however, in any time. As you would say, he runs well for a catcher. Catchers hate that, don't they? 0-1, and now it evens at 1-1. Walt Weiss would be due up next if this continues.
See what the A's did all night last night. They got big hits with 2 outs.
Well, 7 or 8 runs early in that game came with 2 outs. Foul back to substantiate what you're saying. And remember the game or the run today, that came with 2 outs. Canseco.
Bruce Hurst's job is to keep his ball club in the game. They're going to score runs. They're going to swing the bats well, I believe, today. If he can keep them in the game and keep them within 1 run, he's doing his job.
1-2 to Gallego, and he'll foul that one down. Well, Hurst, you know, that's that old cliche, but he pitched well enough to win in game 1. He went 9 innings, struck out 7 in that ball game. He walked 3, gave up 6 hits.
There's another side to that, too. He pitched well enough to lose. Now, I say that because you can't just pitch well enough to win in these situations.
Right center field. Burks hustling over, shading his eyes, and that'll do it. No runs. They leave a man on as we go now to the top half of the third. Oakland 1-0.
The season's begun, so get ready for some fun. Make a date with the season premiere of Growing Pains.
What do you think of my costume? They look great. It looks great.
Then the fridge is frosted.
Look at this, a backfield in slow motion.
The season premiere of Head of the Class after the premiere of Growing Pains, Wednesday, October 19th.
A crime quiz. Which candidate for president gave weekend passes to first-degree murderers who were not even eligible for parole? Michael Dukakis. Who vetoed mandatory jail sentences for drug dealers? Michael Dukakis. Who opposes capital punishment in all cases and even vetoed the death penalty for cop killers? Michael Dukakis. Which candidate for president can you really count on to be tough on crime? George Bush. Experienced leadership for America's future.
The vice president of Cadbury Schweppes is sleeping on the job. The publisher of Cosmopolitan can barely keep his eyes open. In fact, some of the world's most successful business people are off in Never Never Land. And that's exactly where we want them. Because when it comes to business, Pan Am believes the more relaxed and rested you are up here, the better you'll do down there. Pan Am, the #1 airline to Europe and more.
It was Leo McCarthy who recommended that Rose Bird be put on the California Supreme Court. Leo McCarthy voted for lighter sentences, even for repeat criminal offenders, twice. And Leo McCarthy voted in the legislature to actually reduce the penalty for the crime of rape. What Leo McCarthy does helps keep criminals in our neighborhoods and not here where they belong. And that's a crime in itself.
Family Secrets, Tuesday at 9 on Channel 7.
Magnificent view provided by the Goodyear blimp Columbia. The pilot is John Creighton out of Redondo Beach, California. Always wanted to go up in one of those. Never had a chance to. What beautiful weather to be flying up there. Top of the third now. Burks to lead things up.
I want to take that a little step farther on Bruce Hurst when I say he pitched well enough to lose. See, the one thing that's important, earned run averages are only important during the regular season. The only thing that's important in postseason is wins and losses. So it doesn't matter how well you pitch. Your job is to win. And I think Bruce Hurst would be the first one to tell you that.
Well, what he said before the game today to me, Joe, was I'm going to pitch and do whatever it takes, whether it's 10-9 victory or whether it's a 1-0 victory.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that. It's just as tough to win a game 5-4 as it is 1-0.
Count evens on Burks, 1-1. Burks will be followed by Barrett and Boggs. Dave Stewart with a 1-run lead as we're in the top half of the third. Don't tell me how you do it, just do it, huh?
Exactly.
Exactly.
1-2 on Burks.
As
Burks
Al Davis would say, just win, baby.
I always believe that 100% doesn't mean anything. Give me what it takes.
No questions asked. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Burks, as I mentioned, grounded out back in the first. And Stewart starts out this inning with a strikeout. That's his second strikeout of the ball game.
As I mentioned earlier, Dave Stewart is throwing awfully hard because this ball is basically in the middle of the plate, middle of his body, so you don't usually get a strikeout there, but he threw the ball right by Ellis Burks.
Somebody with an outstanding view from the upper deck here in the Coliseum as Marty Barrett comes up. He grounded out to the shortstop the first time. Well, that's that old cliche again, I guess. You let a guy off the hook, and they left Stewart. Got to let him get off that hook in the first inning. And boy, he has been solid since then. 2 balls, no strikes on Barrett after he got out of the jam, retired the side in order in the second, and has got the leadoff man here in the third. 2-0 on Barrett. Strike call, 2-1.
He's throwing the ball exceptionally well, Joe. He's popping a glove. He's got good rhythm. No sign that he's tired on his 3 days rest.
The man known as Smoke, and he now is even at 2-2. Stewart is an amazing story. He was just floundering. Had terrible years. In '85, he was 0-6 with the Phillies, and came back. A lot of people say it was the fork ball, the split-fingered fastball, combination thereof that made him a 20-game winner.
He was hurt emotionally when he was traded from the Dodgers to the Texas Rangers because, you know, he was in the image of Dodgers over there, a hard thrower. Then from there, he was traded to the Phillies. He was released. He was picked up. Nobody wanted him. He was picked up by the A's. He wants to prove to people in baseball that he's a great pitcher. He's been on a mission ever since.
Left field, Parker running in along with Henderson. It'll be Dave Parker, and there's 2 away.
Joe, you look like you had a comment on that catch there.
No, I'm just watching Dave Parker out there in the outfield, and it seems to be a tough play for him to, you know, run 30 or 40 yards at a time. I'm wondering if his knees are still bothering him. You know, he had surgery in the off season, and you can see he's not real sure of himself right there. And maybe it's because he hasn't been in the outfield very much lately.
That's what it is. He has not been in the outfield very much. He's a little uncomfortable.
Boggs at the plate, takes a call strike. Boggs walked back in the first. Foul back. Well, one thing about Parker, he likes playing on this natural grass, though. It's much better on his knees than playing on an artificial surface.
Is that consistency there? 366 in the season and 364 in the playoffs.
0-2 to Boggs. Stays alive.
But a batting average over a whole season, you know, it averages out to 366. But in a short season, it's what you do on a daily basis rather than what you do on the average of the 5 games.
1-2 to Boggs. 2 down. We're in the top of the third. 1-0 Oakland. The difference, a home run by Canseco. Very impressive inning. He's retired 6 in an order now after that shaky first inning. The A's lead it 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third.
IBM presents You Make the Call. With the bases loaded, a batter hits a ground ball to first. After the force at home, the throw hits the batter as he touches first base. Can the runner from second score? You make the call.
Got a guy here wants to sell us a desktop publishing system? We already have one. Well, he says his is easy to learn.
Not easier than ours.
Claims that he can rig it to all our computers.
We didn't have to rig ours.
Says his makes great documents fast.
You mean like ours?
He says his system makes sense for business. Not for ours.
Personal publishing on the IBM Personal System 2.
If a thrown ball hits a runner while on a base, it remains a live ball and is still in play. The runners may advance at their own risk. So if you said the run scores, you made the right call.
It's Chevy versus Ford, compact and full-size pickups in a test of standard 4-wheel drive systems. They start in 2-wheel drive, but they're going to have to shift into 4-wheel to make it across the ditch of doom. The Chevy shift and keep going, but the Ford drivers have to stop and lock hubs. Why is America having a change of heart in pickups? Chevy gives you standard shift-on-the-fly Insta-Track. Ford doesn't.
The heartbeat of America, that's the day Chevy truck.
There's a rumor going round, and if you live in the city, pray that it's true. There's talk of a new breed of warrior, someone to watch over you, someone who will take back the night and fight fire with fire. They're young, they're fast, and they're the only thing that stands between you and the nightmares of the city. Night Watch. They're on your side. This fall.
Gary Bender, Joe Morgan, Reggie Jackson. Bottom of the third, the A's 1-0 as Walt Weiss will lead things off. Lansford and Henderson to follow. Weiss, the switch hitter, going around now onto the right-hand side against the left-hander Bruce Hurst. There's been another Weiss that played very well in the championship series a few years ago.
New York Mets.
Al Weiss. 2-0 now to Walt, and Walt's made all the plays. He's done it all.
The World Series, a long time ago.
2-0 now to Walt. Walt last night 1 for 4, had a double, and that's a call strike. Outside, and the count now even. Makes that rather 3-1 on Weiss. 3 balls to strike. Hurst, 30 years of age, coming off his finest season ever. Last year he won 15, career high 18 this year as Weiss grounds at third base side foul, and it's full count now. He had a bout with mono this winter, and then he came back and had some health problems again, and they thought it was a recurrence of the mononucleosis. Found out it wasn't, and then finished strong for this team. Right up the middle, base hit.
I was just about to mention that they had the defense spread out. Now that comes from the defensive charts that the Boston Red Sox have, but they were giving him the middle of the diamond. The second baseman was well over to the right side, and the shortstop was playing in the hole. Something must have backfired. Of course, that all depends again on how Bruce Hurst is going to pitch to Walt Weiss.
Weiss battling in there with the base hit, his 4th of the series, and here's Lansford. Lansford popped up the first time.
This is what I was talking about, Gary. Now the 9th place hitter for the Oakland A's can run. Now you go to the top of the order, your Carney Lansford. You can put a play on. Whereas if Larry Parrish is on base, you have to play for a base at a time.
Base hit, left field. Weiss will make the turn. Greenwell comes up, and we have runners at first and second and nobody out. Carney Lansford, who was 3 for 5 last night, his 5th hit of the series.
And when Carney Lansford gets hot, I don't think anyone in baseball can get any hotter, which was the way he started off this season. He was very hot. And he'll go through a spell where everything he hits is a line drive and just finds holes. He's a very good hitter because he puts the ball in play.
Dave Henderson, who grounded out the first time. Well, you mentioned Lansford. He was hitting .402 as late as June 4th. Then he tailed off. But talking to Jim Lefebvre, he said he went into one of those streaks that was as cold as he was hot. But he's battled through it now. Henderson, strike one.
These are the infield moves into a position where the shortstop and the second baseman are looking for a double play, yet the first baseman and the third baseman are wary of a bunt.
Weiss at second. Lansford at first. Nobody down. Bottom of the third. Oakland leads it 1-0.
You can see the depth of the shortstop and the second baseman here. I think they're in good double play position. Oakland's guys make the double play well, but they play a little deep.
Slow curve, misses 1-1. Henderson seemingly is always around the action, isn't he?
You can see when he took that pitch right there, Gary, he's seeing the ball well. That was a breaking ball, yet he was on time with the ball, and his bat was back, his body was in control. And that is a sign when you're on the opposing team or you're on the mound pitching to him, you better beware because he's on the ball.
He has been on the ball. He's seemingly always at a big moment in a game, and right now is another one. He struck out 3 straight times last night before he had a home run. 1-1 to Henderson. Left field, base hit. Weiss will make the turn. He's on his way home. And going to third base is Lansford, and in second with a double, an RBI double, is Dave Henderson.
Here's the pitch. It's a fastball mashed into left field right down the line. Dave Henderson on the ball. When they throw him the breaking ball, they throw him a fastball, he still stays on the ball. Swinging the bat well, and the Oakland A's have it heading downhill in their direction.
And now Bill Fisher is going to come to the mound. That's the 3rd RBI of the series for Henderson. 3 straight hits. Started with a base hit by Weiss, Lansford, and now a double by Henderson. 2-0 Oakland.
With the fact that first base is open, I think Bill Fisher wants to talk to Bruce Hurst and make sure that he does not make a mistake with Jose Canseco. Speaking of mistakes, there's a guy just walked in the booth who did not make any mistakes in the 1972 playoffs and World Series.
Raleigh
Fingers.
Let's go back to Canseco in the first inning.
It was a pitch down and in, and he really drove it to right center field. It just shows the amount of power that he has. He can hit the ball out in any part of this ballpark.
Power from alley to alley. Canseco up with runners at second and third. 1 run is in. There's nobody out. Bottom of the third, and that was the cut. He just didn't make contact.
I'm going to be very surprised if they pitch to him in this situation. They've got a base open. There isn't anybody else, but I certainly look for them to go around him.
Well, they didn't go around in the first pitch. They went right after him. I think you have to decide either I'm going to walk him or I'm going to go after him. I think you have to make that decision. I don't think you can say I'm not going to give him a pitch to hit.
High pop-up. Short left field. Reed going back. Lansford bluffs a move, but he'll stay at third.
And they made the decision to go right after him, and I think it was a good decision, not because they chose to pitch to him, but they made up their mind. They said, we're going to go after him, and if he hurts us, he hurts us. I think you either have to do that, like I say, or put him at first base. When you start trying to not give him a good pitch to hit, I think it's when you really make mistakes.
Well, Hurst is a long ways from getting out of this one. He still has McGuire up. Parker to follow, and they're going to put him on.
Well, this just tells you that he thinks he's capable of having more success with Canseco than he does McGuire. But here's a left-hand hitter coming up in Dave Parker, who does not run well, and they think they have a good opportunity for a double play.
Well, I think that's the reason they chose to pitch to Canseco. They say if we can get out of this with maybe one run, a fly ball, or whatever, then we'll go ahead and walk McGuire and have a position set up so that we can double up Dave Parker. I think this is very smart baseball.
And so McGuire's on. The bases are loaded. One out. Parker, who struck out back in the second inning. When Fisher goes to the mound, does he go out and tell Hurst what they're going to do, or does he ask him what he'd like to do?
Well, knowing Joe Morgan as I've come to know him the last few days, he tells him what to do. And I think that's the way it should be. The manager makes the decisions.
You also have times, Joe, when you say to a guy, who do you handle better? Who would you like to pitch to today as opposed to wanting to pitch to someone else tomorrow?
I believe that's the manager's decision. He's the one that's going to get fired if the job is not done.
Well, the Red Sox had the bases loaded in the first. They couldn't get anything done. The A's have a chance now with one down. And now Hurst wants to talk to Rich Gedman. Okay, that's pretty tough when you got to face a Canseco, follow with a McGuire, and then a Dave Parker.
Well, could make Tony La Russa profit. He had a strong feeling last night that Dave Parker was going to do something good with the bat. Here's an opportunity.
A good opportunity.
A great one. Strike call. Steinbach is due next.
That's an excellent pitch to start a left-handed hitter off with the bases loaded. He got a good fastball on the inside corner. I think if Dave would have hit it, he would have hit it on the ground to second base and maybe hit into a double play. Good starting pitch.
Parker looking for his first RBI of the series. 1-1.
Players get up in age. Dave Parker is 36, 37 years old. You want to keep the ball in on him, not as apt to catch up with a fastball and make him hurry the bat.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The bases jam. Parker, line foul.
That had to be a breaking ball.
Was a breaking ball.
And that's the place to throw it, inside, so if he does hit it well, he pulls it foul.
We'll get another look at this breaking ball from Bruce Hurst. Just that big, slow curveball, and as Reggie said, it's on the inside part of the plate, and he pulls it foul.
The A's could really make a big statement here. They lead it 2-0. The bases loaded. 1-2 on Parker.
Only 1 out here. What you want to do is make sure of 1 run. Hit yourself a sacrifice fly. At least put the ball in play somewhere so you give your team an opportunity to score. You got 2 runs. You pick up 1 more. The other team needs 4 to beat you.
Put the ball in play, and for the second time Parker strikes out.
That's a good piece of pitching by Bruce Hurst. He threw the fastball in, and the strikeout pitch for Dave Parker is the high fastball, and he can't catch up with it. Good piece of pitching by Bruce Hurst.
4th strikeout for Hurst. So now with 2 down, Steinbach will come up. He walked the first time. Well, that good feeling by La Russa has not materialized yet.
He's only had 2 at-bats. He's got a couple more.
That's right. Steinbach fouls it down.
What we're seeing here from Bruce Hurst with the bases loaded is he is not getting a ball in the middle of the plate where these guys can handle it. He starts Steinbach off with a fastball in tight, and Steinbach could not get the barrel to the ball. Dave Parker had the same problem. A sign of a good pitcher is when a guy can pitch out of a jam. When he can get in trouble and get out. A lot of guys, when they get in trouble, the floodgates open. You have to make quality pitches in this situation.
Steinbach, and that's a foul ball.
That's what they call not giving in to the hitter.
2 strikes now on Steinbach.
Take a look at this, the breaking ball. Again, the same pitch that he threw to Dave Parker that Dave pulled foul. Steinbach does the same thing with it.
Stewart got out of a bases-loaded jam in the first. Hurst trying to do likewise. They're full with 2 down. Steinbach, center field. Burke's going back. He'll have room as he approaches the warning track, and Hurst does an outstanding job. Does give up 1 run, but it could have been a lot worse. Oakland leads it 2-0.
Logan Pass, Montana and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Logan Pass means trailblazing, exploring the wilderness of Glacier National Park. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place, an Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
Guys, it just doesn't get any better than this.
We're not a company, but we recognize potential. We develop it. We use it. We'll make sure that as your responsibility grows, so will you. As your ability for leadership grows, so will you. Working with us, you'll gain self-confidence, become a person with a future. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
What's so special about Wendy's new Bacon Swiss Burger? Bacon. Special sauce. Swiss cheese. More bacon. All on a toasted Kaiser bun. It's the only Bacon Swiss Burger with 3 strips of bacon. Ooh, doesn't that sound delicious? Wendy's new Bacon Swiss Burger. Come on in now and grab one while they're hot.
Will your new car outlive your new car loan? Give your engine extra protection and help keep your car running like new longer with STP's new Supra Wear Control, so you'll have something to show for your investment down the road.
From the frigid Great Lakes
An Alka-Seltzer Plus, that's all I ever needed.
to the icy mountains of Oregon,
It's been excellent for me.
more and more Americans are taking Alka-Seltzer Plus cold medicine. Fast, effective relief for tough winter colds.
In a word, it works.
The American League Championship Series. Brought to you by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this.
Top of the 4th. The A's lead at 2-0. Greenwell up. He has the only base hit thus far for Boston and fouls it away for strike 1. Greenwell with a base hit, then they went to second on an error on the left fielder Dave Parker. Both teams have loaded the bases. In one case, Stewart got out of it with any damage, and Hurst avoided a real disaster when he gave up only 1 run in the previous inning. 1 run for the A's in the first, 1 in the third, 4 hits for the A's. We mentioned only 1 by the Red Sox and by Greenwell. 1-1. Greenwell really seemed to burst out of it yesterday, going 2 for 5, and Seattle defeating the Browns. Strike call. 2-2. Well, he's gone from Al Davis Club over here to the Oakland A's. This guy's had a rough night. That is foul to the left side, and Lansford's over to make it. 1 out. Greenwell popping up to Lansford at third base, and Jim Rice, who walked back in the first, comes up.
Jim Rice.
Rice last night went 0 for 5. He has 2 hits in this series. McGuire coming over. A lot of room here, but not enough to make this playable.
And now that is not a good swing on the first pitch. Does not get on top of that ball. He just swings at that ball with his arms.
Can he pull the ball anymore?
Well, that is a right field swing. Just trying to put the ball in play. This is not a swing where you want to drive the ball. That front shoulder is gone, Joe.
And he was a little late.
They appealed down the first base line, and he stayed, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2, but I asked you the question again. I was in Boston. A lot of the writers, people I talked to, feel that he just can't get around on a fastball now. He cannot get it over the left field wall anymore.
Only Jim Rice knows that. Not the writers, not Joe Morgan, not Reggie Jackson. Jim Rice has to decide what type of hitter he wants to be. If he wants to pull the ball, I think Jim Rice can pull the ball if he makes up his mind that that's what he's going to do.
No, there are certain times during your career when you need to make a change.
Right.
And I think with this 1 year where Jimmy has fell off of his great career statistics, that maybe he needs to make an adjustment. But I think it's up for Jim Rice to say that, and not for someone that never played the game.
1-2 to Jim Rice, and he struck him out.
And Dave Stewart, true to his nickname of Smoke, is throwing smoke. And he throws the ball right by Jim Rice in this situation.
Fourth strikeout, and across the bay, Candlestick Park, the home of the San Francisco Giants. And as the crow flies, they come in here, and we come to the Oakland Coliseum. 49ers, by the way, are playing the Denver Broncos in Candlestick today. Magnificent setting here for Game 4 in the American League Championship Series as Dwight Evans comes up. He was a strikeout victim back in the first. 2-0 Oakland. Dave Stewart last year had 205 strikeouts. Coming back with an even stronger year, winning 21 after winning 20 last year. Remember now, Evans struck out back in the first with the bases jammed, loaded. Now ahead 2-0. Right field. Canseco, McGuire, Gallego all going foul territory. No one could get there. Long run for Canseco.
Hey, the Red Sox right now are not having good swings at Dave Stewart. The first pitch that Jim Rice swung at, he was behind the ball, and he fouled the ball off over in the right field. So take a look at Jose, the big guy here, 6'4", 230 pounds, makes a heck of an effort. Doesn't quite get there. But again, getting back to what I was saying about the Boston Red Sox hitters, here again, 2 balls, no strikes. He should be cranking up to turn this ball to put a good swing on it. And that there was not a good swing behind the ball, off, fouling the ball off over the right field. Same thing.
2-2 on Evans. That was a swing that you didn't like, and now Evans this time, third base side. Lansford takes it up. 3 up and 3 down. Stewart has really pitched well since the first inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Oakland.
I used to put in 5-6 hours of TV a day. Now I can't get near it. My parents always have it. You see, Stanley's giving away these home improvement videotapes when you buy a Stanley tool. So now they're doing a few projects in every room in the house. So what am I supposed to do now?
You can mow the lawn.
Clean your room.
Read a book.
Get a job.
Get a job, yeah.
Get a free home time video. Win a Chevy truck, a $20,000 home improvement, and $1,000 worth of Stanley tools in the Stanley Home Improvement Challenge.
Leave it to the good hands, people.
Compassion. You can't teach it or place too great a value on it, but you could measure it down this very road on the morning of June 23rd. In the actions of Allstate Claims Adjuster Don Mulder, who at 5 a.m. drove 60 miles to a fire site, all just to shorten the distance between a man's loss and a man's recovery. People like Don Mulder, another reason.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Alex will now do his famous dog impersonations. Ready, Alex?
Rin Tin Tin. Right. Hey, look at this. Benji. Stro Light. Fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste. Who's that?
Beats me.
This is not the time to learn that all antifreezes aren't the same. What's in your radiator?
Come on, answer.
46 pennant races ago, Leo DeRocher and the Brooklyn Dodgers battled for their playoff lives against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cards went on to beat the Dodgers and eventually the Yankees in the World Series. While in North Africa, the Nazis were dealt a crushing blow. The invincible desert fox, Rommel, was wounded and returned to Germany. A moment from the world of Herman Wouk's War and Remembrance, starting November 13th.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Don Baylor, Mike Gallego, and Walt Weiss. Baylor still looking for his first hit of the series, 0 for 4 thus far. Strike one.
I was saying earlier that I believe a leader is a guy that thinks about his team first and himself second. I think Don Baylor qualifies as a leader.
One strike on Don. People might not remember, but when Don was traded in '76 to Oakland, it was Reggie Jackson that was involved in that transaction.
That's right. Kenny Holtzman, Mike Torres.
Bouncer in front, and Hurst off the mound. So the leadoff man is erased, and tomorrow on ABC's Monday Night Football, Phil Simms and the New York Giants tied for first in the NFC East going into today. Take on Buddy Ryan's Philadelphia Eagles, and action begins live at 9 o'clock Eastern tomorrow. LT Lawrence Taylor back last week for the Giants. You'll see him Monday night. Rams losing their first game last week to the Cardinals, and they've come back in a hurry. Gallego, right field. Evans going over, but there'll be no play. One down. We're in the bottom of the fourth. I tell you guys, if you don't shape up, we're going to put you right here. Alcatraz. Have you ever gone over there? I visited there one time. It makes you want to walk the straight and narrow path.
When I was young, I used to live a life that I thought I was going to get a trip over there with handcuffs. So I never wanted to get near that.
You said that, Reggie. None of us offered that.
I have a few owners I played with, and maybe a manager or two that would have liked to have me in Alcatraz. I'm joking.
I know one.
One ball, one strike. Gallego fouls it down the third base line.
You know, it's funny talking about Mike Gallego and watching him. The first ball he hit was down the right field line. Tony La Russa has a play. It's the first time I've ever seen it in my life. It's with Mike Gallego. He's late in the ball game when the score is tied. There's a runner on first base. He sends the runner, and he tells Mike Gallego to hit the ball down the right field foul line. And I've seen him do it in a ball game. It's the most amazing thing you ever want to see.
It is amazing.
I know it sounds crazy.
If you can aim the ball down the right field line.
I've seen him do it.
The only guy I ever thought could do that was Rod Carew. I used to feel like Carew could catch the ball on the bat and throw it where he wanted it to go.
Rod Carew can drink coffee with a bat.
1-2. He fouls it down again. Gallego's just a little guy. He's 5'8", and they call him one of the midgets on this team. And somebody's saying they got so many 6'5" guys on this A's team that they ran out of height. He and Hubbard's 5'7". They're the midgets. They have played big this year. Ground to third, and Wade Boggs to Larry Parrish, and there's 2 away. That'll bring up Walt Weiss, who singled and scored the second run of the ball game back in the third inning.
We talked earlier about Bruce Hurst keeping the Red Sox in the ball game. Well, he's doing that. It's only 2-0. But like I said, that is not good enough. And the Boston Red Sox are quickly running out of innings here. I know it's only the bottom of the fourth inning, but as you get past the fifth inning in a playoff game and you're losing, it seems to just roll right along without you.
Call strike on Weiss. Talking to Weiss, he says, you know, I don't feel like a rookie. And I think probably because he's played in an everyday lineup. And obviously he has not played like a rookie in this championship series.
Well, he's not a rookie anymore, Gary. I believe that you're only a rookie like the first half of a season if you're an everyday player. After that, your teammates do not look at you as a rookie anymore. When you're performing on a daily basis right alongside these guys, you're not a rookie anymore.
All rookies and hits, 113. He had a 58-game streak where he didn't commit an error. Foul down, and the count stays at 1-2.
Got a standing ovation after he made the error, and he didn't know what to do. This does not feel good. Ouch. Joe, I always think that happens when a guy cheats with the bat, when he tries to start early. And a lot of times it happens with a right-hand hitter against the left-hand pitcher when that slider is breaking in on the hands.
Well, I think that's exactly right, Red. You're trying to get the barrel out there, and you get it a little bit too far out front.
So Weiss goes down swinging. 3 up and 3 down. 2-0 Oakland. We'll return to the Oakland Coliseum after this word from our local stations.
The premieres are finally here.
Pretty neat, huh?
First, Who's the Boss cruises into its 5th season.
They never called your car a banana boat. They called me a banana boat.
Then a real mother comes to television.
You don't need a maid. That's why we got kids.
The premiere of Roseanne after the season premiere of Who's the Boss, Tuesday, October 18th.
Pete Wilson's real record on the environment is reported in the Congressional Record. Wilson voted against a crackdown on corporations releasing cancer-causing chemicals, against help for victims of toxic waste. He even voted against a bill to remove asbestos from our schools. So who's paying for those ads claiming he's good on the environment? Some of the very people who polluted. Their PACs have given over $145,000 to his campaign. Pete Wilson, a senator for them. Leo McCarthy, a senator for us.
Those insurance boys sure got themselves a pile of propositions they're promoting. 101, 104, 106. Maybe I ain't so smart, but when them old boys get together and start talking about how much money they're gonna save us with all those propositions, why, they don't credit us with as much sense as old Nell here. Maybe them insurance promoters should have my job. 'Cause in my line of work, I deal with this kind of stuff every day.
What are you doing? Thinking. Right. I'm gonna think too.
So he's not too bright. And he's not too swift with the ladies.
What? What?
But he is the world's greatest detective.
You idiot!
Michael Caine, Ben Kingsley, Without a Clue.
What should we think about, Watson?
Rated
Special sneak preview Saturday, October 15th.
A wrap-up on the A's and the Red Sox Sunday night on Sports Extra.
Bob Stanley hopes that Red Sox can get something going. They trail 2-0 as we go to the top half of the 5th inning. Dave Stewart will face Gedman. He'll be followed by Jody Reed and Larry Parrish. Thus far, 4 hits in the ball game for the A's, 1 by the Red Sox. That was by Greenwell back in the 1st inning. Strike call, 1-1.
Red Sox need to make something happen now, because after this inning, the Oakland A's will be on the other side of the ball game. They'll be facing the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, and the crowd and everyone else will start counting the outs.
1-2 on Gedman. You're talking about how painful it is to foul a ball off your foot as you look at a very pensive Red Sox dugout. This guy, Gedman, broke his right foot when he fouled a pitch off of it on April 10th. So it could be more than just a moment of pain. It can be something that can really slow you.
There you see Dwight Evans. He says in his mind, I've been in this position before.
Popped up. McGuire almost had a collision with Ken Kaiser, the first base umpire, and he gets there anyway.
Dave Stewart seems to be sailing along to me right now. He's very comfortable. He's not laboring at all. He's on top of his motion, and his mechanics are all just right there. He looks very comfortable and tough to handle for the Boston Red Sox.
And Dave Stewart's also in a position that he knows all he has to do is go as hard as he can for as long as he can. He does not have to go 9 innings.
He knows he's got the eck.
Bruce Hurst feels that he probably has to go 9 innings.
Last 3 innings, Stewart has retired the side in order, 1-2-3, and started off Gedman on a pop out as Jody Reed comes up. He flied to center field the first time. 2-0. The A's would like to end it here and then wait on the Mets-Dodgers to see who they would meet in the World Series. The Red Sox would like to win this one, get to the Rocket, Roger Clemens tomorrow, and try to get it back to Fenway Park. 1 strike on Reed, and that's a base hit up the middle. 2nd hit of the ball game now for the Red Sox. And speaking of that Mets-Dodgers series, tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, that's when it begins. Game 4. Mets with a 2-1 lead thus far in that series. Wonder if the weather's any better today.
That is only the second hit for the Boston Red Sox.
The Fleet is in. One down, one on. Parrish, who popped up the first time. After Parrish, we go to the top of the order again for the Red Sox. Red Sox jumped out on top to a 5-0 lead last night, but thus far they've been silenced. And now dropping behind Stewart is 2-0 on Parrish.
And one thing I can say about Larry Parrish, he was one fellow that took as many home runs or got more home run cuts than anyone I saw in the league. 2 balls and no strikes. I say he has a good home run cut.
2-0, and he popped it up. McGuire comes in. Steinbach giving way to the big first baseman, and there's 2 away.
He had his home run cut, and he knew he missed it when you saw him shake his head there. But Dave Stewart still on top of his game, throwing still hard enough to get the ball just by Larry Parrish and have him pop it up. That's the sign that a guy is still throwing the ball well when he has guys popping the ball up.
That's twice that Parrish has popped up, and it's twice in this inning now that the Red Sox have popped up. Well, this is the scenario if the Red Sox pull this one out. Game 5 tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern, here in the Oakland Coliseum. 2 down. Reed still at first, and Burks fouled it down on the ground, so it's strike 1. Boy, it must have hit his foot again because he is kind of limping around as Parrish not very happy.
He knew he had a ball to hit, and he missed it, Gary. You don't get many opportunities like that. When you get one, you've got to capitalize. There is no tomorrow.
0 for 2. That's the strikeout in the 3rd inning and grounded out in the 1st. Burks was hitting the ball so well back in Fenway Park and started out last night with 2 base hits in his first 2 trips. Walt Weiss is there, and he'll run unassisted for the 4th. And that will retire the side. So they get their second base hit, but they can't get any runs. It's still Oakland 2-0.
It's Chevy S10 versus Ford Ranger, folks, in the dash from destruction. A test of getaway acceleration between 2 compact pickups, each with biggest available engine and automatic. Which one has the power to win? Chevy's bigger V6 is already pulling away from Ford and that runaway dynamite car. Chevy S10 has the power to get away, but Ford doesn't. No wonder when it comes to pickups, America's having a change of heart.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
When the stars come out to play, babe, a twinkling show, ooh, dinner out of sight. Yeah, the night time is golden light time. Big Dipper at McDonald's. Showtime is night tonight.
My brother just did something very smart.
Very smart.
He got this amazing new picture-in-picture TV.
Yep, Magnavox did it again.
Now we could watch 2 shows at once, so we never fight over the TV anymore.
We hardly never, in fact, we never fight anymore.
We could watch one show and preview another.
We can even reverse the picture.
How smart of Tom to get a TV this smart.
How smart of him to say how smart I are.
How smart I are?
Him too.
Magnavox. Smart choice. Very smart.
Xerox presents The Great American Torture Test, Alaska.
Xerox.
Death Valley.
Xerox.
City traffic.
Xerox.
Coast to coast to prove under the most extreme conditions you can't buy a better antifreeze coolant than Xerox. No matter where you drive.
We have a pitching change. Mike Smithson coming into the ball game, replacing Bruce Hurst, who went 4 innings, allowed 2 runs, gave up 4 hits, walked 2, struck out 5. Paul Molitor with the inside pitch on Mike Smithson.
Mike Smithson can be effective as a starter or as a reliever.
He basically has two good pitches, his fastball and his slider, although he will mix an occasional changeup into left-handers. However, this year he's had some trouble with the long ball against the Oakland A's. He's going to have to work the corners a little more effectively this series. Otherwise, he's going to have to watch out for that ball in the nitro zone.
Smithson had 13 relief appearances and 18 starts for this ball club. He was not offered a contract by the Minnesota Twins, was signed as a free agent. 33, he is 6'8". But the question I have, gentlemen, why take out Bruce Hurst?
Well, maybe when he went inside, when we had the camera on him, when he went up to seemingly either get angry or frustrated, or whether he was going to have a cup of coffee or whatever, maybe he was tired and maybe he was changing his shirt. I'm sure he just didn't feel well because he only went 4 innings.
So it's Smithson now who will try to keep it close. 2-0 the A's. Lansford to be followed by Henderson and Canseco. Lansford, as you mentioned, very, very hot right now. He's swinging the bat so well. He had 3 hits last night, has 1 today.
Well, Mike Smithson is a fellow that needs to really have his control going for him, because the hot bats of the Oakland A's are just something going to be maybe a little bit too tough for him to contain if he's not on his game.
2 balls, no strikes to Lansford. Lansford popped up, singled back in the 3rd. And Smithson drops behind, and that's what you fear. Got a guy who's pitching pretty effectively. You come in, the guy can't find the plate.
Well, I'm sure there was a reason for taking Bruce Hurst out. We do not know that reason, but I'm sure Joe Morgan had a very logical reason.
Lansford taking, and the count goes to 3-1. Joe Morgan, they called him Magic Morgan. Turned this ball club around, but there hasn't been anything magical in this championship series.
Better call David Copperfield.
And that's going to be flagged down by Barrett. 1 down. 2 years ago, Smithson was in Minnesota. We're going to go back. Pat Sajak. And he's going to introduce? Well,
I have our hostess to introduce. Unfortunately, Vanna could not make the trip tonight, so please welcome our hostess, the lovely Mike Vanna Smithson. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't even know what to say, do you?
No, I don't.
I don't think Vanna White has any competition.
Well, what about Vanna? What do you think she feels about that?
I don't know. Oh, all right. 1 down at the bottom of the fifth. Henderson at the plate.
Fear not, Vanna. Fear not.
Joe, you haven't said a word.
I'm not in it. We'll get another look at this pitch. It's a breaking ball from Smithson. And Dave Henderson's on top of it. Actually fouled it off of his foot. Seems to be contagious the last couple of innings.
I know it. I was just going to say that. It looks like that's the mode right now. Henderson with a double and an RBI back in the 3rd after grounding out in the 1st. Smithson in release of Bruce Hurst. 2-0. Oakland, bottom of the 5th, 1 down. Good fastball. 0-2.
Owen
struck him out. I'm sorry. That was the 3rd strike, and Henderson goes down, and that brings up Canseco, and that's 6 strikeouts in the series now by Henderson.
It's 0-3, Gary. I can help you with those. I've experienced a lot of those 0-3
Have you really? I'm still thinking about Vanna White. As Canseco comes up, he had a home run back in the 1st, popped up in the 3rd inning. 2 down now. Outside, and remember Molitor was talking about the long ball, concern that he had for Smithson as he came into this game, and right now Canseco's got to be thinking about that. Got the inside corner. 1-1.
Jose thinks about the long ball when he starts breathing in the morning, as soon as he wakes up.
Gets out of bed, huh?
The first thing he does when he wakes up and looks outside and see which way the wind's blowing, says, it's blowing out at home.
1-1. Line to left field, and Greenwell gets by him. Goes ball. Canseco all the way to second. second base, and that ball was ripped.
One of the things about Jose Canseco, he hits the ball so hard that sometimes that ball can get on top of you before you can realize it, and that can even happen with you as an outfielder.
Well, you obviously get handcuffed as a third baseman a lot of times by Canseco. This is what you call handcuffing an outfielder. He doesn't know what to do on the ball, and he gets out there so quickly that there's nothing Greenwell can do about it. And it really was a hard line drive that sunk. I mean, he hits the ball probably as hard as anyone in the game.
That is the first hit by Canseco that's not a home run in this series.
And it was only the reason it wasn't a home run, he didn't get it up. He hit it hard enough for it to be a home run. He just did not get any height on it.
McGuire 0 for 1, intentionally walked back of the third, called out on strikes of the first. Canseco at second, 2 away. He's going to third. Gedman's throw. They got him. Canseco, who had 40 stolen bases in the regular season, tried to catch him napping at third. It didn't work. We played 5, Oakland by 2.
At his home in France, wine expert Christopher Stevens invited friends to guess the price of a special cork-finished American Burgundy.
Très bon. Qu'en pensez-vous?
65. They guessed between $10 and $12.
70.
How much was the wine from America? You already know.
18 francs.
Because it's the same red wine you're probably drinking now.
C'est incroyable.
Today's Hearty Burgundy from Ernest and Julie Ocala. All the best a wine can be.
Some car warranties give you protection on your powertrain beyond the first year, which is fine if you are only buying a powertrain. But GM is the only American manufacturer to protect the powertrain and the thousands of other parts that go into all our 89 cars and light trucks. Everything. For 3 years or 50,000 miles. It covers parts, labor, and towing. The GM Bumper to Bumper Plus warranty. Longer protection for more of your car or truck.
A6, hurry and you'll make it.
Delta Airlines ticket agent Sam Singletary knows how to get people moving.
Mr. Franklin, your bag.
But sometimes he has to show off a few moves of his own. The kind of moves that made him a first-string halfback. Sam Singletary shares a feeling with everyone at Delta. He loves what he's doing, and it shows.
We love to fly.
He's the kid.
And it shows.
Introducing the perfect tire for everyone. It does everything for every driver.
Is it safe in the rain?
Well, it's, Can it handle at high speeds? You mean fast?
Carry heavy loads?
How heavy?
Can I afford it?
There's no one perfect tire for everyone. So Goodyear makes different tires for every driver, car, and condition on the American road, including the perfect tire for you.
The American League Championship Series, brought to you by Goodyear Eagle Tires. Goodyear, because there really is a difference.
Top of the 6th inning, Marty Barrett to lead things up. Do you try to steal third base with 2 down?
Absolutely not, especially with Mark McGuire at the plate with 100 RBIs, 99 RBIs. That is a cardinal sin. You never get thrown out at third base with 2 outs, which maybe you can say it proves how great this ball club is. They overcome those kind of baseball mistakes that should never happen, especially in this kind of a series.
Now Stewart is behind 3-0 on Barrett.
I think that's one of the reasons why Willie Mays never stole 50 bases or 40 bases, because he had a Willie McCovey or someone hitting behind him. A lot of times you're limited to how many bases you can steal by the people that hit behind you. If they're RBI producers, there's no point in stealing bases. And we see here there's 2 down. You know, if you steal third with 2 down, you have to make it.
Exactly.
There can't be any room for doubt.
The only way you can steal third base is you have to be able to steal it standing up. Joe, tell me about a time that you stole home with Tony Perez hitting, a guy who makes a living driving in runs. Right. You can upset these fellas.
Wade Boggs comes up. He is 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk, and all of a sudden now Stewart has thrown 5 that have missed the plate.
And the release point on that fastball was not good. He released the ball very high in his motion. He did not seem to bend and follow through as he has been throughout the ball game. Right there. See how he's still standing pretty straight up there. If you go back to the first or second inning, he was really bending well, following through well.
Eric Plunk is up and throwing now for the A's. He came in last night at relief. 2-0 and foul down the left field line, and that ball's going to go into the stands. You know, you go back to that steal. Gedman has cut down all three guys that have tried to steal. He got Lansford, Polonia, and today Canseco.
Well, he's made 3 excellent throws. That was a good throw. This is the time of the ball game where Dave Stewart going on 3 days rest may have an effect late in the ball game.
2-1 to Boggs, and he fouls it back, and it's 2-2.
Here's another opportunity for the Red Sox. Nobody out, man on first base. They have not scored. They only have 2 base hits. They've got to get on the board, or there'll be no tea in Boston.
I feel like they should put runners in motion, try to do something. You've tried to play the type of game you played all year. It hasn't worked. You've got to do something different.
Boggs stays at 2-2.
You've got a guy like Wade Boggs who can maneuver the bat. You've got a guy who doesn't strike out. And if you put a guy in motion, you open up another hole for him. What I'm saying is I think you have to give up the conservative action right now. You have to go for the aggressive type baseball. You don't want to go down like this.
Got to make something happen. Boggs, and Weiss can't get to it. Base hit. Barrett makes the turn, and now we have runners at first and second and nobody out.
And they're still in a double play situation, though.
So not sending him did not get Barrett to third base. Boggs with the hit. That's the 3rd hit by the Red Sox.
Be interesting to see if he would have been in motion that time with a shortstop possibly covering second base. That may have been a double play.
Yeah,
or do you think the second baseman would have been
second baseman would have been covering with 2 strikes because Wade shoots the ball the other way with 2 strikes.
Dave Duncan now is on his way to the mound. Stewart has 2 men on, nobody out. He began the inning issuing his 3rd walk of the game to Barrett. Boggs with a single. Plunk has been warming up.
So when Duncan goes to the mound, he's to talk to Dave Stewart about his mechanics, about what he's doing wrong in this situation. You see a pitching change, you're going to see Tony La Russa.
There's been stages this year in watching Stewart where he'll come out and throw 6 or 7 pitches, can't even get him over the plate, and that's what's happened in this inning. Started out walking Barrett on 4, threw 2 bad ones to Boggs. Now Boggs is on with a base hit. Greenwell is up, and he has one of the 3 hits.
Dave Stewart is a very, very bear-down guy, and about the only time he runs into trouble is when he gets a little tired and he tries a little bit too hard.
Well, Duncan leaves him in. Greenwell is up. He popped up the last time. Straight back.
But he had a very good swing there.
Had a very good swing, especially for the first pitch. Here's a chance for Mike Greenwell to make his year worthwhile. Hit 320, hit 20-some home runs, drove in 119 runs. Now's a time when you have to hit the cash register.
1 strike on Greenwell. Barrett down at second, Boggs at first. 2-0 Oakland. Second base, Gallego. They're second, and that's all they're going to get. And advancing to third base is Marty Barrett. Pretty tough slide down there at second that time by Boggs.
Greenwell chops the ball to the right side. It's in the hole a little bit. Gallego has to move to his left. Now he throws back to his right, and you see Boggs gets close to second base, but Weiss had decided he was only going to take the 1 and get out of the way, and he did so.
So the first out of the inning. Runners now at first and third. Rice is up. 0 for 1, a strikeout and a walk. Talk about making your season worthwhile. Rice could do that now, and that's up the middle over the mound. Gallego's got it, throws to first, got him. A run scores, but what a play by Gallego.
Looked like this ball hit something to slow it down, because in his first hit I thought for sure it was going to go through for a base hit. The fastball down, and there's the rubber. Gets in the way for the Boston Red Sox because that ball had base hit hitting all over it. But look at the play that Gallego made.
The first run does score as Barrett comes home. Greenwell is down at second, and Evans will come up. And Evans 0 for 2, and still remembering, I'm sure, that he struck out with the bases loaded back in the first inning.
Red Sox having a tough time scoring runs, and now the elements are starting to get in the way.
The pitching rubber, huh? That was some play, though. Gallego, Weiss, they just continue to be outstanding defensively.
Well, that's why they feel that they can carry a fella like him and start him and play him every day in the field, because he turns base hits into outs and ground balls into double plays.
It's a 2-1 ball game now. The tying run at second base. Nice stop that time by Steinbach. One ball, one strike. Plunk has discontinued his warming up, standing on the bullpen rubber. 1-1 to Evans, 1-2.
Is still not swinging the bat well. That ball is a ball that needs to be left into right center field. You need to take the kind of swing that's going to drive it into center field, and he's having a pull swing at that ball.
You know, he was 0 for 12 at the end of the regular season, so he came into this championship series not swinging the bat very well. 1-2 on Dewey Evans. It's even now at 2-2. If it continues, Rich Gedman is up next. 2 down, a runner at second, a run is in.
The Red Sox need what they have not been able to do, is to get a 2-out base hit.
Two pitch to Evans. He struck him out. So some damage is done. The Red Sox are able to pick up their first run of the ball game. 2-1 Oakland as we go to the bottom of the sixth.
This was for all that you do.
In the minors, you must have called it all 1,000 times, but you never lost sight of the dream.
I got a telegram for you, Tony.
Okay, thanks, Pops. Hi, babe. Hey, guess what? I got the call. Yeah? Lenny Majors.
You've got a shot, you'll take it.
What's this, rookie umpire?
You've got the heart to make it. You've got the fire, that big league desire. You keep on reaching higher. You make America work, and this was for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood age for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers.
Hi. Compliments from the gentleman over there.
This was for you.
There's only one place for that original taste. Kentucky Fried Chicken. We do chicken right.
Listen to the heartbeat of America.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh, yeah.
The new Chevy Cavalier. With all the fun it gives you, it just could be one of the best bargains you've ever driven.
Ooh, the heartbeat of America.
That's today's Chevrolet.
The Goodyear Blimp Columbia, Charles Russell, the pilot. Gorgeous day to be up in the air and a gorgeous day to be here at a baseball game. Game 4, American League Championship Series. The A's now with a 1-run lead as Mark McGwire leads things off, fouls it back, and it'll make it into the stands. McGwire thus far has walked and was called out on strikes back in the first inning. Boy, you look at missed opportunities, and we don't want to beat up on Dwight Evans, but he struck out with the bases loaded in the first and struck out in the last inning, the 6th inning, with the tying run at second base. He struck out 5 times in this series. Stewart has been able to whip him 4 of those times. 1 strike on McGwire, to be followed by Parker and Steinbach. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, I just wonder how all that frustration affects you because he was one of the fellows that was there back in 75, 78, 86, and again now here in 88. It does not look good for him.
McGuire. Boggs will come up. And boy, he had to snap tag that one, as had a little trouble with the throw that time from Boggs, but they get him anyway.
A nice play by Larry Parrish.
Tomorrow on ABC's Monday Night Football, again, it'll be the Giants and the Eagles, two old rivals in the NFC East. Action beginning live at 9 o'clock Eastern. That's tomorrow here on ABC. Leadoff man is erased, and Parker, who has struck out twice, comes up. Some of the scores: Cincinnati is still unbeaten, 36-19. And the Packers finally won one, and big, against New England. Washington defeating the Cowboys in another NFC East game.
What does that game do to Doug, the magic of Doug Flutie?
Oh, that's right. Flutie came off the bench last week and pulled it out for the Patriots. Parker, Barrett flags it down. He's got a chance. He's safe. He beat it out.
I think the throw beat him, but the throw was high. It pulled him off the bag. Just lifted Larry Parrish's foot just off the bag as Dave Parker was going by. But what a great play. Is that called range, Joe?
Well, Barrett makes a good play in the outfield. He gets up, throws the ball very quickly. The throw is high, so Parrish is not able to stretch and help him. I think that's the key.
Looks like it pulled him off the bag.
But I think Parker had the play beat, as we'll get a look here. Barrett comes up and throws. If he could get the ball down and let Parrish stretch and help him, I think he could have gotten him at first base, but he beat him with the high ball.
So Parker now will be taken out. Stan Javier comes in as a pinch runner for Parker, who legs it out for a base hit.
It's also for defense, not just for speed on the bases.
We saw the great catch Javier made last night in left field. So Javier will come in, play left field, and Parker will sit and wait and see if this thing's going to come to a conclusion, as now at the plate of Steinbach, 0 for 1. He has walked and flied to center field. Thus far, 6 hits for the A's for 2 runs. The Red Sox 1 run, 3 hits. You're going to send Javier as Morgan now makes the trip to the mound. Javier has 20 stolen bases, only been caught 1 time.
I think you're going to see a stolen base attempt.
Well, I think you're starting to see Lee Smith first, because I think Morgan realizes he cannot fall any further behind than he is against the Oakland A's here this late in the ball game. The Red Sox, when they come to bat, will be in the 7th inning, and you just cannot afford to give up any more runs here. So I think he's going to go to a stopper.
Is that a little early, though, for Lee?
No, not when it's, what are you going to save him for?
It's October 9th.
Tomorrow,
it's not early.
Be here.
But his effectiveness, if you have to go that long, how effective is he in that long a span of time?
Well, he's going to leave him, so maybe you're right, Gary.
That'd be the first time I've been right when you guys...
I definitely believe that you have to keep the game close.
Well, Morgan is elected to leave Smithson in the game. Smithson, of course, in relief of Hurst. And Steinbach at the plate. A runner at first, Javier, the pinch runner for Parker. There's 1 down. Remember now, Gedman has cut down all 3 stolen base attempts in this series. 3 for 3.
But that will not stop the Oakland A's. If La Russa wants to run the guy, he will.
He's not going. Steinbach, right field line. Parrish, a long run. He can't get there.
And one thing about Tony La Russa as a manager, you cannot intimidate him. You can throw out 2 of his guys, he will send another one. I don't think he will stop or deviate from his own game plan.
4 guys on this A's team had 20 or more stolen bases. Canseco, of course, leading with 40. However, I would guess he would just as soon Jose hadn't tried to go to third. He has a green light, but I'm sure there was some discussion in the dugout. Smith continues to warm up.
Javier was leaning on that particular pitch.
I always watch a guy if he's on the balls of his feet, Joe. If he's on the balls of his feet, he's thinking about running. They sit back on their heels, they're not going anywhere.
One strike to Steinbach, and that'll go foul. 0-2. Don Baylor is due up next. 2-1 Oakland. Oakland scoring their runs in the first and third, and in the top of the sixth, the Red Sox getting on the board.
Looks like he wants to run.
Yep. Here's the 0-2 pitch now from Smithson. He's not going. Now, wait a minute. We have time called. Time is called by home plate umpire Greg Kosh.
That's a tough time to call for a timeout because the pitcher's already in his motion, and Smithson could really hurt himself trying to stop as he did on that play.
Javier definitely distracting Smithson. Smithson with an 0-2 count now on Steinbach with one down. 2-1 Oakland. Get a little more serious now.
The thing about this situation here, Gary, is Steinbach has a right field swing. He stays behind the ball very well, and he's got that first base that is open. He has the right field side of the diamond infield open to work with.
Javier back in. It's an amazing stat when you think about Javier. Caught only one time. He's able to steal 20 bases. Oh, 2 to Steinbach, and it's now 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I had one year when I was 22-4, but I know that's not going to mean anything to Joe Morgan because they'll say, well, they didn't expect you to run, so.
Would you have said that, Joe?
I would have just said the guy next door, Johnny Bench, stole 20 bases one year, too. And he was a catcher.
That really puts you down now, doesn't it? 1-2 now.
You don't talk home runs when you talk 8 or 10. You talk home runs when you get 20 to 30. Talk stolen bases, you talk about 35 to 50.
Joe Morgan had over 700 in his career. Steinbach trying to go to right field, as Reggie was suggesting, and it's still 1 ball, 2 strikes. So you feel a little bit of the tension right now. You get the feeling that Morgan will love somehow to get through this inning with Smithson. Use Smith at a later date. Try to get at least one of those runs back, as we're in the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 the A's.
I think we have to give Joe Morgan a lot of credit. I don't think he has panicked in this series at all.
1-2 to Steinbach. Reed stumbles momentarily, but they get the force. Wasn't easy, though. By the time he got there and got the throw underway, it got very, very close at second base.
And Javier gets a good jump on this play and makes a very hard slide. I almost wonder, when is it deliberate? When is it too much? When is it not?
Don Baylor.
Umpire judgment.
So down at first base on the fielder's choice is Steinbach. There's 2 away. Baylor up. Baylor 0 for 2. Called out on strikes and grounded back to the pitcher. So Smithson an out away from getting out of this jam. Left field. Greenwell going back, shading the eyes, has room to make the play. And that'll retire the side. So Smithson able to keep the A's off the scoreboard. They lead 2-1. We'll return to the Oakland Coliseum after this word from our local stations.
A television classic is back. Two weeks from tonight, Peter Graves returns to lead the top-secret Impossible Missions Force. The all-new Mission Impossible.
And now, on with the opera.
From the people who brought you big screen television
comes the sound to go with it.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give.
Introducing Mitsubishi Home Theater Systems, now playing at a dealer near you.
In the fall, Europe sheds her summer crowds. Sights become much easier to see. A table is yours for the asking. And this fall, Pan Am has made it all affordable with Eurosavers. Surprisingly low airfares, plus a Eurosaver book with discounts on hotels, rental cars, and more. Pan Am Eurosavers, one more reason we're the #1 airline to Europe.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Good morning, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Here's your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
At Chevron, when it comes to service, we do our homework. And while we're the first to admit that not every station is absolutely perfect.
Good morning. Miss, thank you. Here's your Bullwinkle, Miss Change.
We're working on it.
Your change, Miss Bullwinkle.
Chevron. We fuel your freedom.
Colombo, tonight at 9:30 on Channel 7.
The American League Championship Series, brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Top half of the 7th inning. Rich Gedman will lead off against Stewart. Stewart has gone 6 innings now. He's given up 1 run, 3 hits, walked 3, and struck out 5. And Gedman 0 for 2. Popped up and grounded pitcher to first.
But I think the important thing for the Red Sox is that they were able to score 1 run against Dave Stewart last inning. At least they put themselves on the board. That's a psychological advantage. It doesn't mean they're going to do anything with it, but it's a step in the right direction.
Well, the thing they have to be careful of is the fact that they're 1 run down. They've got to just play their game. They are not a home run team. Can hit a home run, but
Gedman left field. Javier is remaining in after being a pinch runner, tries to get there and cannot. Good effort. And I imagine LaRussa's saying, boy, am I glad Javier's running after that one and not Dave Parker.
But they've got to not panic and just try to tie the ball game up with the 10 or 12 out, 9 outs that they have remaining. They've got to play their game and stay within themselves.
So Javier after the long run, and it's a long foul ball. And there's the man we had earlier on our telecast, Horace B. Davis. Believe it or not, he was at the World Series in 1912, the first year that they played baseball in Fenway Park. Look at those eyes. Isn't that great? 90 years old. I tell you what, I'd like to look that good when I'm 90 years old.
You look that good now.
Well, I'm close to 90. Working with you, Reggie, has aged me considerably. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
They told me before you started the series you had black hair.
Cold black hair. And had a little more in hair. That ball's hit pretty well to left, but Javier will have room on this one. And so Gedman is erased in the top of the 7th. That'll bring up Jody Reed, who had 1 base hits in this ball game.
Now batting, shortstop Jody Reed.
And now you get to the point to where the Red Sox now have only 8 outs remaining, and I'm almost waiting for the crowd to do something. They seem awfully quiet.
Well, they got their brooms ready.
Well, I think they're waiting for Eckersley. If they see Eckersley, I think that gives them the sign that they want to see that Oakland's going to win the ball game.
1 strike now to Reed. Eckersley already with a championship series record 3 saves. Misses. I heard him say to you, Joe, he was ready.
He said his arm felt fine and he's looking forward to being in today's ball game if the A's have a lead.
1-1 to Reed. Short stop. Walt Weiss shielding his eyes once again. 2 out. Parrish will come up, and Parrish has popped up first 2 times at the plate.
It certainly looks dark and gloomy for the Red Sox, but I've also seen them almost in a worse position before, down with just 1 strike left, 3 games to 1, and they turned that situation around.
There's Eckersley.
But they didn't have that man on the mound to have an opportunity to tie the game up.
Well, you know another thing? The guy that turned it around is now playing for the other guys, Dave Henderson.
And so is Don Baylor, who hit a big home run that day.
That's the point that we ought to have. One strike now to Parrish. Boy, he's going after it. He's in a hole 0-2.
This is where sometimes the pressure can affect you in a situation like this, where you try to go on and do it by yourself and forget to stay within your abilities.
Parrish very frustrated, popping up the first 2 times. This time just got a piece of it, and the count stays at 2 strikes.
Reggie, I agree with you. That's what I was saying by the pressure building. Players, I don't think players actually choke. I think they try to do more than they're capable of. And they all go up trying to tie the ball game with one swing. And only 3 or 4 guys on the whole ball club are capable of doing that.
Parrish pops it up for the 3rd time. Lansford coming in. 3 up and 3 down here in the 7th inning. Stewart, after struggling in the previous inning, comes back strong. Go to the bottom of the 7th, 2-1 Oakland.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Maybe you should try something else. My dandruff shampoo really works.
Maybe you should try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors and pharmacists recommend Selsun Blue more than all other leading brands combined. What that means to you is no leading brand gets rid of dandruff better than Selsun Blue. It's #1.
And all Selsun Blue formulas, including extra conditioning and extra medicated, have the ingredient recommended most by doctors.
Somewhere, right now, there's a clean, crisp, ice cold, Beechwood aged Budweiser with your name on it.
This is a brand new $18,000 car. Put in a leading motor oil. This is an identical new car. Put in Mobil 1. Start them up and drive. Under extreme conditions, temperatures inside your engine can reach 570 degrees. Of course, Mobil 1 costs more, but then under extreme conditions, look at what can happen to conventional motor oil. Mobil 1. Isn't your car worth the extra protection?
Enjoy baseball memories throughout the years by ordering your copy of the 1988 World Series souvenir program. Packed with more than 90 pages of features, facts, and photos on the Fall Classic, this program is truly a collector's item. Get your souvenir program by sending a $6 check or money order to World Series Program, Box 88, Trenton, New Jersey, 08651. That's Box 88, Trenton, New Jersey, 08651. Be sure to include your proper return address.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
Back at the Oakland Coliseum. Well, gentlemen, time starting now to run out on the Red Sox.
Well, as I said before, as you get past the 5th inning, the pressure starts to build. You try to take advantage of every situation, but the pressure just will not let you.
I think you have to remember that the Red Sox were down with just 1 strike to go, so let's remember that they still have an opportunity, although it does not look good.
Gallego will lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th. Weiss, and then the top of the order, and Carney Lansford. Mike Smithson continuing on the mound. He relieved Bruce Hurst, who went 4 innings. Gallego in the game, 0 for 2. Center field, and Burks takes a couple of steps in, and there's 1 away. Weiss is up. He singled and scored a run back in the 3rd, and then was called out on strikes in the 4th inning. As from the Goodyear Blimp, Columbia.
Shortstop, Walt Weiss.
Right over the top with 6'8" Mike Smithson. Now Honeycutt is up and throwing for the Oakland A's, the left-hander. Plunk earlier had been warming up. Weiss fouls it down the left field line. Boston somehow trying to extend this series. Honeycutt, who picked up a win in this American League Championship Series, has made 2 appearances thus far. 1-1. It would be Clemens going against Storm Davis tomorrow if we go to Game 5. Grounded foul first base side. The count goes to 1-2. Then after that, Monday, well, do that, and then if they get back to Fenway, then you wonder how quickly they could come back with a Hurst and Clemens.
Well, you know, if they can get to Clemens, they may have a shot at winning that ball game, but today's ball game is the most important.
In the dirt, the count evens now at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
As far as the Oakland A's are concerned, there will be no tomorrow.
Well, was it Tony La Russa said, we're going to celebrate yet. It ain't over. He's had that mentality ever since they came back after winning 2 in Fenway Park. Full count now.
They had one little rough spell back in June, and they have not even played good since then. They've played nothing but great the entire way through.
104 wins, 54 road victories. As Lee Smith looks on, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Weiss with his second hit of the ball game. So with 1 down, the top of the order now, and Carney Lansford.
Well, that's an example right there. Here's a good pitch, ball in on hands, but it just seems like 1988 just happens to be the year of the Oakland A's. You jam them, they hit a blooper for a base hit. You make a bad pitch, they say goodbye, home run.
And speaking of goodbye, we're going to have goodbye now to Smithson as Lee Smith will come in relief. 2-1 Oakland. We're in the bottom of the 7th.
We're not a company, but no company has more pride in what they do, or more pride in how well they do it. We offer you a meaningful and fulfilling future, one that goes far beyond the ordinary, one that brings with it the respect and admiration of Americans everywhere. We're not a company, we're your country. We're the Air Force, the Marines, the Army, the Navy. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
Clemens pitches to Winfield. High and inside.
Hold it! It's starting lineup talking baseball, and you're in control.
What's the problem?
Roger, fastball, low and inside. You control 40 superstars. Make Roger Clemens throw a fastball or a curve. Have Dave Winfield bunt or hit for power. A real announcer calls the action.
Winfield waits.
Hold it!
Well, kid?
Starting lineup talking baseball. What they do is up to you.
This is a machine designed to keep you on time. And this is what makes it tick. People. Working together with clock-like precision. Each dedicated to keeping you on schedule. Time after time after time. American Airlines, the on-time machine.
Before your tires show uneven wear, have your alignment checked. Or you could be shortening tire life and taking risks. At Midas, trained professionals with the latest technology align your car right. Hey, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
It's called Triple Jump Checkers. On every one of these cards, you have a chance of winning.
I'm going for the big one, the 1 mil. If I won, man.
Let Mate show you how it's done.
All right, here we go.
Give me $100!
On tape earlier, Mike Smithson leaving after getting 1 out here in the 7th. He went 2 1/3 innings, did not allow any runs, gave up 3 hits, struck out 1. As Lee Smith, hard-throwing right-hander, comes on. Now, with the inside pitch, here's Paul Molitor.
When you think of Lee Smith, you think of 1, intimidation, 2, exploding heat, and 3, one of the best closers in the game. But just because you know he's going to throw that fastball doesn't make it any easier to hit.
So Lansford will get the opportunity to hit, as at first base with 1 down is Weiss after singling, which is the 7th hit of the game now. 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the A's. 1 run, 3 hits for the Red Sox. Lansford with a base hit back in the 3rd inning. Smith was a losing pitcher in game 2. He went 1 2/3 innings. gave up 3 hits, 1 run, and struck out 1. 29 saves this year. Walt Weiss on the base paths this year. Able to steal 4, but he was also caught 4 times. 2-1 Oakland, and Weiss at first with 1 down, and a count. The first pitch on the way to Lansford. Foul back. Up next would be Dave Henderson. Smith 6'6", 245, and Joe Morgan now hoping that he can keep within that 1 run and hope to get something going, as Henderson will be coming up next. Lee Smith had 4 straight seasons of 30-plus saves and just missed by 1 to make it 5 in a row. Time.
I still don't understand how you can call timeout when the pitcher is making his delivery to the plate. I don't understand that.
I don't know
Greg Koch does it.
I don't know who's calling timeout, Gary, whether it's the hitter, Joe, or whether it's
the
umpire.
umpire. I mean, the umpire is the only one that can call timeout. But the point still remains, if a guy is starting his motion to the plate, you're penalizing him.
1 strike on Lansford. Outside, and the count goes to 1-1. Last year, the Red Sox had only 16 saves by their entire staff, so they went out and got Smith from the Chicago Cubs. His acquisition they felt was the final piece to the whole puzzle, and he made 64 appearances. One, he caught the outside corner, 1-2.
Be interesting to see if Tony La Russa continues to try to steal bases, try to stay aggressive with Walt Weiss on first base.
He's got a guy in the batter's box who hits the ball all over, so if he wanted to start him earlier in the count, I think he would have, but now it's a little tough to hit and run with 2 strikes against Lee Smith.
1-2 to Lansford, and it's popped up. Barrett on the outfield grass. 2 away. So Smith comes in and gets the first man he faces, with Henderson now up. Henderson with a double and an RBI back in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, grounded out in the 1st inning.
And if things don't change, he's got an opportunity for that MVP award.
If it ends today, I think the Oakland A's have several candidates. I think, of course, Dennis Eckersley and Walt Weiss has played very well.
Canseco, Lansford.
Like I said, they have quite a few guys.
Well, there's 3 of them that you just mentioned.
I think Walt Weiss should be in there as well. He's played a steady shortstop. He had a game-winning RBI, and he's contributed offensively as well as defensively.
Henderson at the plate. First pitch misses outside. 1-0, 2 down. Weiss still at first. Lee Smith in relief of Mike Smithson. Interesting that the guys you mentioned, Lansford, Henderson, and Eckersley, are all former Red Sox.
Good point.
That hurt or what? 1 ball, no strikes now. That's his Weiss at first. Now, I'm kind of surprised, as well as the A's steal bases, that Weiss doesn't have better numbers in that department. 4 stolen bases and caught 4 times. Henderson to the plate, 1-0 count. Canseco, if it continues, due up next. Misses, 2-0.
Any time that Oakland has gotten on top of the count, 2 balls and no strikes, 2-1, 3-1, they have to capitalize on that situation, where the Red Sox have not done so.
Well, I think Lee Smith will give Dave Henderson a fastball to hit, but Lee Smith's fastball is not easy to hit.
2-0, he caught the outside corner that time. 2 balls and a strike.
And especially when he throws it down and away. I think think Joe Morgan has tried everything that he knows to figure out why the Red Sox have not been able to win here in the Coliseum. So far, he has not come up with the answer.
2-1 to Henderson, 2-2. Well, it's amazing to think they've lost 15 of the last 16 games here in the Coliseum. Not to mention 0-7 this season.
Well, they went now. They're 10 out of the last 11 ball games they played the last down the stretch.
2-2 to Henderson. Bottom of the 7th inning. 2-1 Oakland. He struck him out. So Smith comes in and definitely gets the job done. We have played 7 innings in game 4. The A's lead it by 1.
You've seen Ford do this for years, but now there's a big new Chevy with enough power to not only haul tons of trucks up this mountain, but also tow away the entire mountain. The advanced full-size Chevy. No wonder when it comes to pickups, America's having a change of heart.
The heartbeat of America. That's the day Chevy truck.
Your man in Washington has come through?
The Americans will be most displeased. Observe. The argon-activated radio-optic laser light.
Amusing, Boris, but the party demanded Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Where is Boris? He is enjoying a cold one.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Leave it to the good hands, people.
Suffering a loss. It means more than having a simple possession destroyed. It means suffering the shock and the aftershock that comes with a loss of control. Which is why Allstate always responds so quickly. In fact, faster than most everyone to help speed your recovery, both physical and emotional. The Allstate policy for fast, fair claims. Another reason.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
You're looking at a new level of comfort. Barefoot comfort. Comfort you get with Carrier's revolutionary new gas furnace. With breakthrough technology, Carrier gives you remarkably even heat with no toe-chilling drafts. Economical, the most. Quiet, quieter than a mouse. Carrier. Our engineers aren't comfortable until you are. For home heating, for cooking, hot water, or drying, choose gas, America's best energy value.
Well, the Boston Red Sox have 6 outs to try to pull this one out. They trail 2-1, and a little visual aid there as you need that explained to you if you haven't been following the American League Championship Series. Dave Stewart, he's given up only 3 hits in this ball game, 1 run, as Ellis Burks, the top of the order, to lead things off. I just get the feeling, guys, it's not going to end up 2-1. I'm not going to predict who's going to win it, but you get the feeling that that 2-1 score is not going to hold up.
I don't have that feeling you have, Gary.
Don't you?
No, because I think there's just a tremendous amount of pressure on the Red Sox at this point, and unless Dave Stewart just makes several mistakes in a row, they're going to have it tough scoring a run down the stretch.
Burks fouls it back, and he's behind
It'll
only 2.
only take 1 run, only 1 mistake right now, Joe, to tie the ball game up and put a new complexion on it.
Burks is 0 for 3. Grounded out to the shortstop. Struck out. Grounded out to second. High, and the count goes to 1-2. You wonder how long La Russa would allow it to continue with Stewart maybe getting a little bit tired. There's Mike Greenwell, who had the first base hit of the game for the Red Sox. That's headed into left field for a base hit. So hit number 4 now for the Red Sox. Leadoff man is on, and Marty Barrett, who scored the only run back in the 6th inning.
Second baseman.
Gary, what we see here is Ellis Burks hitting a ball to the left side of the infield. It went through because Carney Lansford was guarding the line. If Carney would not have been guarding the line, that ball would have been hit in the 5th inning. I guarantee you he would have made the play. And we see Tony La Russa coming out.
Right now, down the left field line, it's Honeycutt who's warming up.
I think for a lot of people that are just tuned in for the playoffs,
we'll get that thought in a moment, Reggie, because we're going to have a pitching change as Stewart will leave. Honeycutt will be coming in, and he gets a standing ovation. Dave Stewart doffs his hat. We'll be back. The tying run is on the base pass.
Attention, all men with noses. Introducing the Schick Slim Twin Disposable Razor. Compare new Slim Twin's narrow head to Gillette Good News. Slim Twin is 28% slimmer. No wonder men prefer Slim Twin over Good News. So for a close, comfortable shave, even in hard-to-reach places, get new Schick Slim Twin. Already preferred by men who have noses.
Isn't this romantic?
When you move with Ryder, think of the unpacking as practice. Because only Ryder will enroll you in one of the country's biggest discount shopping services, absolutely free. Which means you can buy almost anything for your new home at some of the best prices around. So after you unpack, you can unwind. Move yourself with Ryder and settle in with the savings. Ryder, we're there at every turn.
You may have heard about them, even read about them.
Are you the real Crocodile Dundee?
You got him. But you've never seen them.
If you think that's incredible, watch this.
Until now.
She's a local celebrity. Amazing.
John Davidson and Christina Ferrari host the premiere of Incredible Sunday tonight.
Tomorrow, NFC East rivals meet as the New York Giants go head-to-head with the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a key division matchup on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Well, a job well done on tape. Just while we were away, Dave Stewart retiring after pitching 7 innings, allowing 1 run, 4 hits, walked 3, struck out 5. And so, making his 3rd appearance in the championship series is Rick Honeycutt. He was a winning pitcher in Game 1. He's pitched a total of 1 inning, walked 1, has not allowed a run or a base hit.
You know, Gary, as I was saying earlier, a lot of people want to know, why do you guard the line? Well, ball that's hit to the left of you usually is a single. If the ball gets by your right, then it'll be a double, and you want to keep a man from getting into scoring position. That's why you play the outfield back as well, so that the ball's not hit over your head. You want to guard against the double.
And there he is guarding again. Would you send Burks here with nobody down?
Well, they've decided to bunt, and I think you have to do one or two things here. Either you have to try to hit and run, or you have to bunt. I don't think you can just play the way you've been playing and let Barrett hit away. Because if he hits a ground ball, it's a double play, and that could be devastating at this time of the ball game. I think you either have to bunt, which Joe Morgan chose to do on that pitch, or you have to send the runner and try hit and run.
You have a good runner on first base. He runs very well. There you see the graphic, 25 stolen bases. Marty Barrett handles a bat well, and you've got a guy hitting behind him hitting 360, and then coming up Greenwell with 119 RBIs. This is a great opportunity for you.
So you're saying send him. Get him over there.
No, get him in scoring position.
Get him in there.
Right. Give the 360 hitter an opportunity and the 100 RBI man an opportunity to drive him in. If you don't get it done then you just go on home and forget it.
Remember, Barrett does not strike out very often, and he takes that one, and the count evens at 1-1.
There are a lot of people that say you do not play for the tie on the road. I think you have to tie the ball game before you can win it, and especially when you're down 3-0.
Well, Joe, I think they have to play for a run.
Right.
Like you say, let's tie the game because we haven't done anything for 4 days. Right.
Joe Morgan, I'm sure, has all that going through his mind right now. Burks down at first. Leadoff man is on. For the top of the 8th. All strike. And now, with 2 strikes on, that really changes it. Barrett could not believe that caught the outside corner. Excellent butter is Barrett. And now, with 2 strikes on, Does that take off the bunt?
I think you're going to find out how good a bunter he is because I make him still bunt.
I don't think he will, Reg. I think he will, let him hit. And I'm not sure he'll start the runner. I don't think he'll make him bunt, though, because he does put the ball in play. He doesn't strike out a lot.
Honeycutt with a 1-2 count on Barrett. He'll chase Burks back into first base.
There's certainly some pressure on Mr. Marty Barrett right now. After he allows the count to get 2 strikes on him, he's got to advance that runner over to second base, or he's going to wind up as wearing some egg on his face.
Barrett with only 1 base hit in the entire series. That's a serious move there.
And to foul up a bunt attempt, he's got to get the job done.
Boggs is due next.
Now you see Burks getting back to first base.
Honeycutt gets a new ball from the home plate umpire. Joe Morgan. And you mentioned the pressure, the tension. Sometimes when you just send somebody, get to running, maybe you can battle some of that tension, loosen up a little bit. Burke still at first. 1-2 on Barrett. Nobody down. Top of the 8th inning. 2-1 Oakland. Third base. Lansford's there. They got the force. The relay. Double play.
That could be the kiss of death. There's a ball hit very well, but to the wrong spot. That ball has to go over to the other side of the diamond. And again, let's give Rick Honeycutt credit as we see Marty Barrett give Rick Honeycutt credit for throwing the ball in an area that he can't get to the other side of the field.
It has not been a good series for Marty Barrett. 1 hit and the double play. 2 down, and here's Boggs, who has a base hit. You talked about Lansford inside, backs him out of there. You talk about Lansford being in the wrong place. The previous batter, boy, he was in the right place that time.
Well, as I said, a double play would be devastating to the Red Sox in that particular case, and it was. Here we see a fastball up and in to Wade Boggs from Rick Honeycutt. It's an unusual pitch. Well, it's an unusual pitch to see from Honeycutt. I think there was a purpose to it because Rick Honeycutt does not throw the high fastball. He doesn't throw the fastball up and in on left-handed hitters too often.
Well, he may have thrown that ball up and inside, Joe, a couple of pitches inside in order to get his breaking ball to be effective.
There was a purpose to it.
Now he's behind the American League batting champion, 3-0.
And that was the breaking ball.
Greenwell is next. 2 down. Top of the 8th. The Red Sox have 4 outs left to do something to keep this from being a sweep. Ball strike.
That was a 3-0 slider.
Well, you throw whatever pitch you feel like you can throw a strike with. Everyone thinks it's an automatic 3-0 fastball, but if you feel you can get the breaking ball over better, that's what you throw.
And now he's battled back to go to a full count of 3-2.
I think Boggs had a pretty good swing at that ball right there. You don't see him take that kind of a swing, and very seldom do you see him swing the bat in that situation. He'll take 2 strikes because he's an outstanding hitter with 2 strikes on him, but I think he was trying to hit a home run for his ball club. He had a good, crisp cut right there.
I think that's why a guy can hit 366. He's never at a disadvantage according to the count.
3-2, and he walked it. So with 2 down, Boggs goes down to first, and Greenwell comes to the plate. Boggs representing the tying run.
Wade Boggs does not mind hitting with 2 strikes. I think he's proven that over his career. Here's a slider, tough pitch. Very few hitters could lay off of that pitch, Reg. But he was able to because he waits so long on the ball and he sees it so well.
Eric Plunk now is up and throwing again for the A's. The hard-throwing right-hander who came on last night. As Honeycutt with 2 down now will face Greenwell, who singled back in the first. Since then, he's popped up and reached on a fielder's choice. There's Plunk.
Just wonder if Tony La Russa said something to Carney Lansford about having Honeycutt pitch very carefully to Mike Greenwell, because Jim Rice is on deck in the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Eric Plunk is in the bullpen warming up.
Well, Steinbach is going out, so apparently they didn't like the looks of that first pitch. And Steinbach's going to go out to make sure that Honeycutt concentrates on getting that breaking ball down. And Dave Duncan's coming out now. It was a hanging curveball, the first pitch, and I think they want to make sure that they do not get that ball in a zone that Greenwell can hit the ball out of the ballpark. You have to make sure you get the slider down and away.
Greenwell has 1 home run in the series. That coming, of course, yesterday. Tonight on ABC, our excitement continues. The National League Championship Series, the Dodgers of the Mets. Mark the time down. It'll be again 8 o'clock Eastern here on ABC. So drama continuing to unfold. Greenwell at the plate at first is Boggs, 2 down. 2-1 Oakland with the lead in the top of the 8th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's where they want the breaking ball, down and away.
Evans, who's had a tough day, as have the entire Red Sox team. One to Greenwell. Just missed, and the count goes to 2-1.
Yeah, Honeycutt almost exclusively staying with that slider.
There you see Tony La Russa in the dugout. Well, Reg, I think Mike Greenwell has proved that he can hit the fastball.
The 119 RBIs, you can hit almost anything.
22 home runs. 2-1 on Greenwell. Short center field. Hustling in Henderson. Coming in Javier. It'll be Henderson. And so Honeycutt does the job. The Red Sox have 3 outs remaining to try to pull this one out.
Hello. Business has sure picked up here at Lucky's Castaway Club since he started serving our new Bartles and James Premium Tropical Cooler. Ed selected 5 natural fruit flavors to give it a lively tropical taste. Lucky's has become the in place for trendy singles. Ed heard you could get hit on down here, but we haven't seen any fights, and everyone sure seems to like our new Bartles and James Tropical Cooler. Thanks for your support.
Now, a revolution in blade shaving from Remington, the new Remington Electro Blade, with vibrating blades for a close, smooth, comfortable shave. Safe, immersible, and cordless. The new Remington Electro Blade vibrating blade system.
This is not the time to learn that all antifreezes aren't the same. What's in your radiator?
What do we do now?
It's Chevy versus Ford, compact and full-size pickups in a test of standard 4-wheel drive systems. They start in 2-wheel drive, but they're going to have to shift into 4-wheel to make it across the ditch of doom. The Chevy shift and keep going, but the Ford drivers have to stop and lock hubs. Why is America having a change of heart in pickups? Chevy gives you standard shift on the fly, Insta-Track. Ford doesn't.
The heartbeat of America. That's the Dave Chevy truck.
More Americans get their news from ABC News. And Koppel, Walters, Donaldson, Downs, Brinkley, and Peter Jennings are some of the reasons why ABC News is America's choice.
Next Sunday.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Every time you go into business, you take a risk. You killed everyone I ever loved.
Susan Lucci.
You don't have to be gentle, I won't break.
Lady Mobster. Next Sunday.
Oakland, 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Boston, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. Bottom of the 8th, Canseco, McGuire, and Javier to face Lee Smith. 3 outs away. That's what you got to look at. And of course, the A's would like to get a cushion to take into that top half of the 9th inning. The Red Sox in the 9th would have Rice leading off, Evans and Gedman scheduled.
This is another of those classic matchups. A power hitter against a power pitcher.
Canseco with a home run back in the 1st, then is popped up and a vicious double into left field coming to the 5th inning.
And there you see George Brett hit 3 home runs in the playoff series twice. And Canseco has done it in his first attempt.
Jose looks at that, and it's now 2-0. By the way, Reggie Jackson, just in case, has headed down to the clubhouse for the presentation of the American League pennant, if in fact it does happen. 2-0 to Canseco, 2-1. Eckersley now is up, and that's no surprise.
No, I think he will definitely start the 9th inning, unless the A's score 3 or 4 runs here in the 8th.
Canseco now at 2-2, a little disgusted with himself.
No, I think he hurts his hand here, Gary. There you see his hand comes off the bat, and I think that's what it is. He's walking around, you see him shaking his hand there. Every once in a while, you'll swing the bat, and you get it in a funny position, and it puts pressure on certain parts of your hands. That's why it's so tough to hit when you have hand injuries.
There's the man known as Eck with 3 saves already in this championship series. Boy, the crowd's starting to buzz, aren't they? Canseco, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. 3rd hit of the ball game. Leadoff man is on. McGuire, who's been walked once, called out on strikes and grounded out, comes up.
And that shows how strong Jose Canseco is, because Lee Smith made a good pitch. He really broke his bat. He jammed him, but it looked like a line drive for anyone else.
Even his hits like that are impressive.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's strong, and he swings the bat well, and he attacks the ball at all times. I think that's the difference between Jose Canseco and some other power hitters. He attacks the ball at all times.
Now, if you're thinking about base stealing, Canseco had 40 this year. Caught stealing 16. He's on his way. The throw by Gedman, and he's in there with a stolen base. So after being cut down, trying to swipe 3rd, he got this one.
Well, he's set up to go, and he just takes off on the first pitch. And he beats Gedman's throw to second base.
And that's the A's first stolen base of the series.
I think it's interesting there, because I think a base stealer has to have a certain type of mentality. And that is, if you get thrown out the time before, the next time you get on base, you have to go. You have to show them that they can't intimidate you, that you are in charge.
That it was a mistake. They were lucky to get you the last time.
And I think Jose was wise in doing that. Mark McGuire might not think so, but at least...
Well, Mark ends up with a strike on him. 0-1 the count. Canseco at second. Nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. 2-1 Oakland.
I don't think it matters now, because he has 2 strikes on him, but sometimes a manager may want your hitter to take a shot to right field in a ball game like this, because you can use an insurance run. But then a lot of managers think just the opposite. They want their big guys to drive in the run, so they let them swing away and just hit the ball wherever they can. They don't worry about shooting it to the right side.
He may do that now with 2 strikes on him.
Well, if he does it now, it'll be because Lee Smith makes him.
Up the middle, base hit McGuire. Canseco making the turn. Lefever's waving him home. Burke's throw is on the way. It's a 3-1 game. Been quite a duo, Canseco and McGuire. And McGuire driving in his 2nd run of the series. 3-1 Oakland.
Well, you see the Boston bench. I think they realize how important that run was. It's more important psychologically than it is just putting another number on the board.
Well, one swing of the bat can't tie it up. And with a guy like Rice leading off the top of the 9th, you've got to be concerned about that. Javier is up now. McGuire at first base.
And you may see Tony La Russa play for another run here. He may bunt McGuire over.
Javier coming in relief of Parker. This is his first time at bat. left field. No one will get to this one as it drops right on top of the bullpen mound. So Lee Smith, who was treated kind of roughly in Fenway Park, again being roughed up a little bit. Javier now with 1 strike on him. Boy, I tell you, that's something. You got a guy like Canseco, gets a single, swipes second, and McGuire with 2 strikes on him, able to drive him in. That tells you something about those two guys.
Yes, it does. It tells you that they're a dynamic duo, and they will be around for a long period of time, both being very young players in this game.
1 strike now on Javier. Squares around as though to bunt, takes it, and the count goes to 1-1. Lefebvre looks into La Russa, now hangs out the sign for Javier. Lefebvre's wife Ruth is expecting on October 28th. It'd be a nice way to usher in this month. They have a new child and American League pennant. 1-1, and Javier bunts it, first base side. Parrish. Oh, did he get him? Yes. No, he missed him. Parrish missed him. Javier eluded the tag. Looked like he was awfully nonchalant on that one.
Well, I think he felt he was going to be able to tag Javier, but he missed him. Here we'll get a look at the play, and you see Parrish reach for him, but he does not make the tag. It's a high bouncer. Parrish charges the ball, but he does not make the tag. The hustle of Javier pays off.
Or they can win any type of game. They try to do it in any way possible. And that was just heads-up play by Javier as Baylor now is due up. Check that, Steinbach is due up. And he's been called back. Polonia is going to come in and pinch hit. So McGuire down at second. Javier at first. Still nobody out, and a run is in. And Luis Polonia will come in and pinch hit for Steinbach. Interesting, you take your catcher out.
Well, it kind of follows the pattern that they've talked about. They want Ron Hassey to catch Dennis Eckersley, and there's no doubt Eckersley is going to come in to pitch the 9th inning. So Ron Hassey is going to come in anyway, so you figure right here is an opportunity to use a left-handed hitter against Lee Smith.
That's Stanley warming up. That's what we were talking about earlier. They are so comfortable with each other, Eckersley and Hassey. So Polonia comes in, and they're expecting a bunt. The infield comes in, and he takes it inside. 1-0.
Polonia is a pretty good fastball hitter. He doesn't handle a breaking ball very well. That's why he didn't play yesterday against Boddicker. But he can handle a fastball, so La Russa may let him go because they were willing to give up an out with Javier bunting McGuire into scoring position. Now he's already in scoring position. He's going to let him drive him in.
2-0. Baylor due up next. It all began on a single by Canseco. He swiped second. McGuire brought him home with a base hit, and then Javier a hustling play, eluding the tag with a base hit.
And there you see La Russa talking to Ron Hassey. I think he's talking to Hassey because he may pinch hit Hassey for Don Baylor.
Polonia bunts that one up in the air, and the count goes to 2-1.
I don't quite understand that because you had a 2-0 count with a good fastball hitter up and a guy that runs well. He's not likely to hit into a double play. You had everything in your favor, but you were trying to give up an out. Maybe he missed a sign. That's why Lefebvre is going to come down and talk to him, because I don't think that made a lot of sense in that particular situation.
So when in doubt, just go talk to your guy.
Well, I think that's La Russa let him swing the first 2 pitches, and then to make him bunt 2-0 doesn't sound like Tony. So I believe that he probably just missed the sign, and Lefebvre came down to make sure he understood the sign now. He may make him bunt now. Sometimes
cross him up.
Yeah, well, it changes your manager's thinking at 2-1 instead of 2-0.
They are coming in, both Parrish and Boggs cheating in on the infield grass, and now have to back up as Smith steps off the rubber. 2-1 on Polonia. McGuire at second. Javier at first. A run is in. 3-1 Oakland. Bottom of the 8th. Good cut, and it's 2-2. So the bunt was up, and now Polonia looks down again to Lefevre.
Well, like I say, that's why they sent Polonia to the plate. He's a good fastball hitter. And 2-0, you're going to get a fastball. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to put the bunt sign on. I guarantee he missed the sign.
Red Sox down by 2. They have one last half inning to try to pull it out. Two, and it's a full count, 3-2.
A lot of times you hit and run in this situation to stay out of the double play. But when you have a guy like Polonia who runs so well, doesn't hit into a lot of double plays, you do not have to start the runners to stay out of the double play. It does not mean they will not, but he doesn't have to.
Full count now on Polonia. And he walked him, and the bases are full. Still nobody out. And Don Baylor was scheduled up. You were waiting to see if Hasse would come on, but they're going to leave Baylor in, it looks like. Baylor thus far in the ball game 0 for 3, struck out in the second, grounded out to the pitcher and flied to left. So Smith is in a heap of trouble. One run is in, the bases are loaded, nobody out. Baylor at the plate.
I think this is a situation where Tony La Russa is showing Don Baylor some respect, because you have Ron Hasse, who's going to come into the ball game anyway, and he's a left-handed hitter. You could use him in this situation instead of Baylor.
Baylor looking for his first hit of the series. 1 ball, no strikes. Over 48,000 in this ballpark, and right now a great sense of anticipation. McGuire at third, Javier at second, Polonia at first, nobody down. Baylor 1-1.
I think that's one of the reasons that the players play so hard for Tony La Russa, because he shows them respect in return. He's in a situation here, if this was the 7th game of this playoffs, I guarantee you Don Baylor would not be hitting. But they're up 3-0. They're also up 3-1 in the score, and he's showing Don Baylor respect that he has had for him over the years.
Yes, he's kind of earned it, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
1-1 to Don Baylor. Center field
responds.
Burks will go back. This will score a run. Burks makes the catch. McGuire tags, and it's a 4-1 game. Baylor comes through.
Well, that's one
fly RBI.
That's one thing about a veteran. You show him some respect, and he'll usually respond for you.
And you know what? That could carry over into the World Series.
Yes, it could.
And I'm saying World Series. It's still not over, but it's 4-1, and it's getting pretty dark for Boston. Gallego coming up. He is 0 for 3. Eckersley will be coming on in the 9th. Still runners at first and second, and Javier and Polonia. Weiss is due up next. 1 out. So interesting to me, Joe, that the guy Lee Smith, who was so outstanding all year long, has really had a tough time getting people out in this championship series.
Well, one of the problems that Lee Smith has had with the Oakland A's is that he's run up, in the times that he's pitched, he's run up against some pretty good fastball hitters, and they've been able to handle his fastball. Oakland has a good fastball hitting team, and he seems to always have to go through the meat of the order when he comes in.
Gallego watches that one catch the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. I don't know what this Oakland A's team isn't. You know, that's how we started today. How good is this A's team? And it seems as though they can do it all.
Well, they have some hitters that can handle the off-speed pitches. They have some hitters that can handle the fastball. so you're going to be matched up well against any pitcher in the league.
1-1 to Gallego, and it's 1-2, and he got his rip on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eckersley continues to warm up down the left field line. He already has 3 saves. Now has been staked to at least a 3-run lead. And if history means anything, that will be an awful lot for the Red Sox to try to overcome. Smith still trying to get out of the inning. Two, and Gallego slaps it into the stands. La Russa, no matter who he puts in the lineup, seems to work. Gallego, Phillips, Polonia, Javier, Parker. They've all contributed when he's made the changes at second, left field, or DH. To Gallego. Struck him out. So Smith just buzzed that one by. There's 2 out. And Walt Weiss will come up. Weiss with 2 base hits in the ball game, and he scored a run. Red Sox ended the regular season losing 6 of 7. Now in danger of being swept 4 straight. Weiss looks at a call strike. So those questions we were asking Joe at the start of this championship series was there concern the way the Red Sox finished the year? I think there had to be.
Well, as I said before, I think one of the age-old questions in baseball is, can you turn it back on after it's been shut down? And I don't think the Red Sox have been able to do it so far.
And they had 3 outs to try to do that. 4-1 Oakland. Bottom of the 8th. 2 down, runners at first and second, and 2 runs are in the inning. Weiss, good cut. 2 strikes. You think about that National League Championship Series or how many games that's going to go, but if this ends in 4 straight, you wonder what the A's do in the interim time. That one, of course, led by the Mets 2-1. They've had the 1 rainout, and of course playing later tonight right here on ABC. Oh, 2 pitch to Weiss, misses, and the count goes to 1-2. Well, it's been some year. The A's with the record wins of 104. They made the right moves. They brought up the right people. Tony La Russa has had a full deck to work with, and he has been a card shark. One and 2 to Weiss, called, 3rd strike. So that ends it. But the A's pick up 2 very important runs. We go now to the top of the night, 4-1 Oakland.
What I would like you to do, Mr. Customer, Ms. Customer, is kind of ask yourself, do I make 1-minute phone calls? Most of the time the answer is no. Think about when you see a comparison that states a time. Look at that chart and say, are these the calls that I make with this length of time on that particular day of the week? Generally speaking, the longer the call, the lesser the cost differential between AT&T and any of its competitors.
To those who with a boundless energy and burning spirit live to be the best, comes a salute from those of us who live by the same values, the U.S. Armed Forces.
I'd go to college.
Me too.
If I had the money. Yeah.
I'm going to college on the new GI Bill. You serve full-time in the armed forces or part-time in the reserves, and you earn a lot of money for tuition.
The U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
There's a vacancy at the Bates Motel.
Buzz McKenzie, and it could be you. Look for this display and enter Bud Light Psycho Sweepstakes to win a Bud Light party with Buzz McKenzie at the Psycho Mansion. You can even get a mug like Spud's at participating retailers. Wow!
That Spuds is so cool, it's scary.
One look and you'll know why the critics rave.
She was so close, I wanted to grab her, take her in my arms, feel her 72-pound body next to mine.
One look and you'll know why it won the Emmy.
In junior high school, who you are is defined less by who you are than by who's the person sitting next to you. A sobering thought.
Do you guys mind if I sit with you? Sure, Winnie.
Now you can look at the Wonder Years when it returns for a special hour, Wednesday, October 26th.
A look back from San Francisco Bay. The focal point right now in the San Francisco-Oakland area is the Coliseum. The Oakland A's are 3 outs away from their first World Series since 1974 and their first sweep by anybody in a 7-game championship series. And the man who has finished all 3 games has 3 saves. Comes in relief again, Dennis Eckersley. Saves in games 1, 2, and 3. His 4th appearance. He's pitched 5 innings. He's given up 1 hit, no runs, walked 1, and struck out 5.
And Spike Owens is going to pinch hit.
Spike Owen for Jim Rice.
Jim Rice.
So Spike Owen, this is his first at-bat in the series.
I want to clarify something for the viewers. The Cincinnati Reds in 1975 swept the Philadelphia Phillies in 3 games and swept the New York Yankees in the World Series in 4 games. So they won 7 in a row. But there was not only 3 games, 3 out of 5 in the League Championship Series. It's now 4 out of 7.
Or the best
so no
of
one's
7.
ever won 4 out of 7.
Spike Owen leading things off. Call, strike, 2-1. Every pitch now draws a response from this crowd. And Benzinger is going to pinch hit for Evans. Boy, they're really pulling it out now. Taking Rice and Evans out of there. 3-1 to Spike Owen.
Well, I think he feels that the right-handers cannot handle Eckersley. He knows Eckersley has problems with left-handed hitters, so he's going to try to put as many as he has left on the bench.
And he walks Spike Owen
into the game.
So Owen down at first. Last night, you might recall, it was Benzinger that was pinch hit by Parrish, and now Benzinger coming in to pinch hit for Dwight Evans.
Well, it's ironic because when Parrish pinch hit for Benzinger last night, he batted against Dennis Eckersley.
What a difference a day makes, huh?
So now Benzinger is going to pinch hit against Eckersley himself.
Well, Eckersley now giving up his 2nd base on balls in the series. Benzinger looks at a call strike. Gedman is on the on-deck circle now. Top of the 9th, 4-1 Oakland. Eckersley trying to close it out. First base side, McGuire, he started to go to second. Looked like he had trouble maybe getting the ball out of the mitt. So he goes the easy route and gets the man at first. 1 down.
Well, one thing the A's will do now is trade a base for an out. You see he makes the play, but he looks, and the runner's right between him and Walt Weiss. So he makes up his mind he's just going to take the 1. The runner at second base doesn't mean anything in this ball game. The Oakland A's only want outs now.
Eckersley trying to set a record that he's already broken earlier. Gedman, first ball hitting. Henderson is there. There's 2 out. And Owen will have to stay at second.
If Eckersley gets this save, he will push his record to something that will never be broken because you can only win 4 games in a 4 out of 7 series, and he will have saved all 4 games. So he's going to set a record that can never be broken.
Isn't that amazing? And he will have, with the 45 he had in the regular season, 49 for the year. As the last man now between elimination is Jody Reed. 1 hit for Reed in the 5th. The fans are on their feet. Strike call. They obviously are not even paying attention to Owen down at second. The infield is back. 2 2 out. Back goes Gallego, and the Oakland A's have won the American League pennant. We'll be back with more of the celebration. The A's with the sweep. They're headed to the World Series for the first time since 1974 as they win it 4-1.
Isn't this romantic?
On your path to success, reach for America's strongest financial helping hand, Citicorp and Citibank. More American families own their own homes and attend college with our help, and more get what they want with MasterCard and Visa cards from Citibank than from any other company. We also serve millions of customers in every major marketplace worldwide. Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh, yeah.
Chevrolet has been a part of more families than anyone. That's because Chevrolet offers more ways to move your family than anyone.
Oh, the heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. That's today's Chevrolet.
More Americans get their news from ABC News, and Peter Jennings is one of the reasons why. At home, the very best of the TV newsmen. On politics, Peter Jennings really won the debate. Overseas, the only anchorman who deserves a trench coat. World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, weeknights. ABC News, America's choice.
Yesterday, the Mets slid around the base paths and the Dodgers were called out. Now New York has the series lead, but LA looks to get even in Game 4 tonight on ABC Sports.
The Oakland A's are the American League champions. Let's go down to the clubhouse. Here's Reggie Jackson.
Thank you very much, Gary. As you see, pennant fever, and they're certainly celebrating inside the clubhouse here. The fans enjoying themselves outside. It is typical World Series atmosphere inside. They're throwing champagne all over. Guys are being hugged, throwing things around. It is sheer pandemonium and absolute excitement. Just the joy and the feeling of experiencing the World Series. They have won the American League pennant, and they are having an absolute wonderful time. I think they've already gone through about 30 or 40 cases of champagne already. Guys have already had their champagne showers, and I'm about to get one also. Thanks to Jimmy LaFever. That's one of the reasons. That is one of the reasons I wore my old clothes today, pair of beat-up pants, because I had a feeling that I was going to get sprayed with some champagne. I've got my towel in my hand, and that stuff gets in your eyes. It burns. But they're having a good time. McGuire, Dave Duncan, Dave Stewart, Arnie Lansford. They are having a fabulous time. Davey Henderson, come over here. Come here, Eck. Congratulations. Another fabulous effort. I'm going to hold on to my towel right here. What a year. What a year, huh? You have been named the most valuable player, Dennis Eckersley, 4 saves in the World Series, setting a record. Dave Justy had 3, and you've been named the Chevrolet Major League most valuable player for the American League Championship playoffs.
Highest, best I ever felt in my life. Did you ever think this would happen to me? Last year?
With me, the marketing manager of the West of the Chevrolet Motor Division, Ron Daniels, the presentation of the trophy of the Heartbeat of America.
Good. On behalf of Chevrolet and 5,000 Chevrolet dealers, congratulations, Dennis.
Thank
Most
you.
valuable player.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll cherish it the rest of my life.
Good.
Thank you. Thanks, Chevrolet.
Absolutely beautiful job. I want you to know that I'm a Chevy dealer, so part of that's from me. Nice going, big guy. Tell me about your experience.
Well, I'll tell you what, today I was glad it's a 3-run lead because I didn't really have a lot. And I walked the first guy that's unlike me, but this series means a lot to me because I was paranoid the whole series going back to Boston. I have a lot of my heart is still there, and I feel sorry for the Red Sox because I know how that feels, the other end of it, and I want to say that. But, man, I feel great.
How much of a chance did you think you had to win the Most Valuable Player award? Canseco had a chance, McGuire, Walt Weiss, Dave Stewart. Everybody had an opportunity to win that trophy.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, thank God. I mean, this is my series. I guess it's kind of my year. I hope it continues to the World Series. Can't forget Stu. Stu had a hell of a year, too. Had a hell of a series.
You guys had a great year. Just seemed like to be the year of the Oakland A. Let's take a look over to the other clubhouse with the Boston Red Sox with Mike Berry.
All right, Reggie, we are here in the Boston clubhouse with Red Sox skipper Joe Morgan. And Joe, you started off at mid-season. You were 9 games back. You really went like a house of fire. Now, all of a sudden, after winning the toughest division in baseball, your season is all over. Is the blow any softer because it all happened so quickly?
Well, it's over, but we lost to the best club in this league, I can tell you that. They're sound all the way around. And we gave them a pretty good run for their money.
Joe, in Game 2, you were up 2-0. In Game 3, 5-0. You had them on the ropes, but you couldn't deliver the knockout punch. Any reason you can point to why?
Well, not really. They got good pitching, though. It's tough getting a lot of runs off good pitching. 2-0 isn't a big league, but, you know, they're sound, baby.
All right, Joe, thank you very much. I know the hearts are low over here, but the heads are high. Let's go back to the Oakland clubhouse and Reggie Jackson. Reggie?
Thank you very much, Mike. With me, the man of the hour, one of the men of the hour, I should say, Dave Stewart. Dave, you were telling me you didn't think the Red Sox had a chance today.
Well, I felt real good going out, and I pitched in a lot of situations, such as today, this season, and I just felt good. I felt from the first pitch that I was going to have the edge.
You know, in watching you get prepared for today's ball game, I was in the clubhouse when you came in. You seem to have a quiet determination about you that wants to prove that Dave Stewart is something special, as you showed today.
Well, you know, there are a lot of people out there who just haven't had a chance to see me pitch. You know, they look at statistics and they think that everything is a fluke. You know, I'm real relaxed about what I do. I've learned through watching veterans as yourself, Davey Lopes, Reggie Smith, Dusty Baker, about how to go about your business. And, you know, I've learned my lesson well, and it's helped me on the mound.
Looks like you've still got that hard look on your face. You're going to have a good time with the guys and bust some champagne?
I'm going to have some fun. You know, it's just, you know, the tempo has been so upbeat, you know, the 4 games that I just haven't quite gotten to that relaxed stage yet. But I'm enjoying it.
Thank you very much, and congratulations. Here's a big guy, Jose. Absolutely fantastic. I can say nothing that anyone else has not already said. My conversation would be full of superlatives. Great going.
Thank you. Like I was talking in Boston, I thought we'd go in there, and if we took 2 games, I knew they've had a lot of difficulties playing at Oakland during the whole year. We've out-hit them here. We've out-pitched them here. And, you know, we came with a great advantage, and I had a great feeling that we were going to sweep it here.
You know, the home run that you hit off Bruce Hurst early in the ball game today, last night it looked like you were trying to pull the ball, maybe trying to hit a home run last night, but today you stayed on the ball, drove the ball to your power field. Were you doing something different today?
That's one thing I've learned as a hitter. Basically, you have to take every pitcher different. You have to adjust not just per at bat per every pitch. Bruce Hurst tried to work me away. He tried to work me in. And basically, the home run I hit was a good pitch. It was down and in a little bit, and I sort of muscled the ball to right center.
You seem to be having the kind of year that the Oakland A's are having, just super at any time in every ball game. Let's go back upstairs with Gary Bender and Joe Morgan.
Reggie, thank you very much. Congratulations to the Oakland A's. Joe, your final thoughts.
Well, I think Jose Canseco could have easily been the most valuable player in the championship series as well, because he got him off to a good start. He hit the 2 home runs in Boston, and those were 2 very crucial games. But I guess pitching is the name of the playoffs, and Dennis Eckersley was on top of his game.
And so I guess the question I'll ask you is, how good are these Oakland A's?
Well, they've taken that step down the road of greatness. They swept the Boston Red Sox. Now let's see what they do in the World Series.
They'll await, of course, the outcome of the Mets and Dodgers series, led right now by the Mets 2-1. Once again, the final score, the Oakland A's 4, the Boston Red Sox 1. For Reggie Jackson and Joe Morgan, our statistician George Hill, glad you could be with us. As tonight on ABC Sports, baseball excitement continues as the Los Angeles Dodgers battle the New York Mets in Game 4 of the National League Championship Series. And Saturday on ABC's college football, the Washington Huskies tackle the Trojans of Southern Cal, or the Michigan Wolverines meet the Iowa Hawkeyes. Check local listings for the game in your area. Stay tuned for World News Sunday. The blimp provided by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company.
The American League Championship Series has been brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, today Chevrolet, by Bud Light, everything else is just a light, and by the U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
It was the cop show.